Thank you. Hello, and thank you for joining us for session number 12 of the Unsung Tales, a one-ring actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To find all the sessions of this game, you can go to happyjacks.org/unsungtales. And to find all the shows on the Happy Jacks Network, you can go to happyjacks.org. My name is Kimi. I go by she, her pronouns, and I am your Loremaster for this game. So very exciting. And we took last week off, so we're all excited to be back in Middle-earth.
Yeah.
And we're going to Rivendell. It's so exciting. Okay.
If we make it.
If we survive.
Yeah, well,
make the trip.
It's a long
the
trip.
trip.
it's a long trip.
Longest journey so far.
Yes. We're heading to Rivendell.
There we go.
There we go.
Accurate.
So let's start over here this time.
Hi, everybody. I am Kadave. I'm playing Hannar of Durin's folk. Both of us are he, him. And yeah, I felt fancy today, so I got
You
all-
look very
Yeah.
nice
Got all-
and
Fancy.
dapper.
got all dressed up to go see Elrond.
Elrond and the
Yeah.
elves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They deserve it. They deserve a little bit of posh.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you know.
when else are you going to put on something nice? Right?
Right.
Give him that dwarven class.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. I am Jay, and I am playing Burl Sausage Brandy-bottom, Hobbit of the Shire, former sheriff, and fancy with the spear. And we are both he, him, and I am excited to be back with this fellowship.
Yeah. I'm excited to be back too. Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am here to play Aerlind of Mithlond, who uses he, they pronouns, and is very fine and normal about the fact that we are home in Mithlond, where everything's fine and great. Yep.
Great.
So great. And hello, I'm Sam. I play Runa of Bree. We are both she, her pronouns, and she is a Barding treasure hunter who is definitely not going to get us into any trouble on the way to Rivendell at all.
No, it's totally fine. All right. So a recap from last time. The party has found the Palantir, which is one of the seeing stones, this swirly doodad that a bunch of people fight over if you saw the movies. And basically this lets anyone who has another one of the seeing stones see the others, other people who have them, unless they're covered or hidden. The party currently has theirs in what used to be a pearl casing for it. So they kind of close it in that, and it has little like chains that latch to keep it from seeing where they are. And then a couple of them still have shadow points from when they tried to use it. And Sausage, the only one who hasn't tried to use it yet.
I like the yet.
Yet.
Still time.
Still time. got a long way to Rivendell. So they came across this. They took it back up to Creek's Crossing, which is kind of their haven. Their haven is in some ruins up there. They showed it to their patron, who lost his shit about it. Was very, very worried, and said, "Get that away from me. Also, do something with it, and maybe don't touch it anymore." And they decided to go to Mithlond and to speak with Círdan, who is one of the older elves still in Middle-earth. He has an amazing beard, and he is the keeper of another one of the Palantiri. So he has one too, so he knows a bunch about it. They took it there. They, spent time in Mithlond. They got to spend some time with in Aerlind's home, and Dave got to speak with Círdan. Sorry, not Dave. Hannar got to speak with.
It's about the same.
About the same. But got to speak at length with Círdan about his visions of Valinor and his actual seeing the trees through touching the Palantir. And Círdan was just like amazed by this. So we had lots of beautiful moments of lore and relationship and character, and I think we rolled dice one time in the whole session.
Yeah, right.
But we had an amazing.
See if a drink would knock me out.
But we had an amazing time exploring Mithlond and kind of what it would be like in this beautiful elvish city, and it was really, really great. Just carried me through the last 2 weeks. So the party also discussed it, and they decided that they are going to probably take the Palantir to an elvish stronghold of some type. So they're headed first to Rivendell. And I think that's the extent of the plan. Did I forget anything else? No.
No,
I
I
think
think
that's
we're
it.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep it away from the Hobbit gossips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and something from the previous session, there was something dark that was chasing them. Not chasing them, or at least following them.
Huh.
Something. It was in the dark. It was either able to fly or jump or something. It was very, very scary. And it was following them from Creek's Crossing down to Mithlond, but they did not see it while they were in the Elvish city. So we'll see what happens with that. All right.
And I think we're pretty much set on Elrond is like second elf opinion, right? And then
And maybe he'll keep it.
Maybe he'll keep it. Maybe he'll be like, send it on. Or maybe we should find some trustworthy hobbits or some dwarf somewhere.
Yeah.
Just put it in my
Or-
grandmother's house. That's fine.
Right.
Sure.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could?
You'll never believe what I have.
You're going to be shocked that the party has different ideas about maybe what should happen. They all agreed where we're headed, but after that, they all have.
She'll file it in her jewelry
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
No,
The
no,
other
it'll just
shiny
be out.
objects.
It'll just be out on a coffee table.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Wait.
thought that was just a cool little doodad.
Yeah. So, all right.
The Dark Lord is so bored of that one Tom
He's
Ford
like,
book.
please use salt.
All right. Just as a reminder, we do have safety tools that we're using right now. We have X cards on the table. We've done lines and veils. And we also do check-ins and stars and wishes after every session. So, yeah, you should do that too because it's good. And let's go ahead and pick up. Did you have anything else you wanted to do in Mithlond before you went? Did you?
Oh,
yeah.
I did. We never got there at the end.
Yeah.
I do want to go try and find a jewelry vendor.
Okay.
I'm looking to find something nice. A thank you to the nice jeweler that cut open the pearl
Oh, okay.
to send home.
Yes. Her name was
Cool jeweler lady.
Okay.
no, Guahira was the
That's my guy.
yeah.
Gail?
Gale, that's
Gale.
what it is. Gale. And then the stone singer was Philip Bouldersong.
Right. But he got into it out of curiosity like me.
Mm-hmm.
She got into it because she kind of just was there and roped into it. So I feel guilty that we just put upon an active vendor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the retiree, he had time and he was interested. Sure. But somebody that actually has work to do,
Mhm.
yeah, I would like to repay that.
Very nice. And her name is Gail Sharpstone.
I suppose it would help if I got like my character sheet and stuff. Like
Oh, you know,
we're here to play a game or something.
whatever. Okay, yeah. Now, I mean, you would know this as a dwarf. Gale was a very accomplished, probably like not like famous, but like well-respected, well-known jeweler.
Sure.
So you're gonna have to do really well to like find something that will impress her.
Sure.
So just,
I'm-
I mean,
just
you're in the
the-
right place.
Yeah. I figured, of all the I'm not going to find it like in a tiny village,
No,
right?
no.
So, ta-da, we've made it to a big city that's not full of ghosts.
Right.
So,
Okay. So you wanted to go to the jewelers.
yeah.
Okay. Why don't we start off by role playing it out then?
All right.
And we won't spend a lot of time on it, but it's a nice little warm up for our day.
Sure.
Okay. So you had seen it while Kieran was walking you down to the docks the first time, and so we'll just say like while everyone's preparing, you probably like Aerlind, you may need to go back to your house and shutter click
Yeah.
shutters and like
Recover all the furniture.
yeah like the things you do before a long journey because you don't come back here very often.
Mm-mm.
So
Can't imagine why.
Yeah. How much unpacking of your house did you do?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Enough to make it comfortable
Mm-hmm.
for the three of us and a dog. And I think I'm also gonna go to the ship's the docks for a little while.
Okay.
But while that's going on, just being down there.
Perfect. So you're gonna go down. You want to go by yourself?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like a default, like, this is where I used to be all of the
All the
time.
time.
1,000 years of sitting by these docks. So a
Mhm.
little bit of just like kind of getting back in touch with himself and
Okay,
being there.
that makes sense. Sorry, I keep changing my mic because it's got like a giant shadow on my forehead.
Yeah.
It looked great with Jason yesterday, and now it's just like a little bit of a bad thing. We'll see if this is better. Can you hear me okay?
No, yeah.
Okay, we'll see. All right, perfect. So we know you're going to the jeweler. Are you inviting others to accompany you?
Well, this being the next morning, I don't know if anybody else was near me to go. Because you guys all went back and stayed at Aerlind's house, right?
Yeah. Well, you'd come back together after that morning, hadn't you?
Yeah, we went for a
Mhm.
sail.
Yeah, you went
Oh,
for the
yeah, we
sale.
did the sale.
We had
Yeah.
a
I was
meal and a
assuming this was
meeting.
like the next day before we set off.
Probably, but people may have been in a different accommodation. Like you might have
Yeah.
gone back to Aerlin's house, or
That would be fine.
whoever wanted to stay at Kieran's, you'd still be welcome there. So who would have wanted to stay? Erlin, would you invite them to stay again?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Figured, but I didn't
Yes.
want to say. So who would have stayed at Erlin's house?
If there's room,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to impose.
Okay.
There's no shortage of space here because no one lives here.
Sure, but I mean, you may want to sleep on a bed or something like that. I suppose you could talk it over with Runa, but the balcony's great.
Oh,
Kind of I'm setting up my hammock out there again. If you brought yours, it's lovely out here. You get the sea air, you get the crashing of the waves.
I think it's a little high.
Hmm.
The fact that it's it's not a first floor balcony, I assume. So
There's multiple floors.
sure. I mean, even though dwarves have been depicted in this universe as not believing in handrails,
Yeah.
I firmly believe that they would probably have a little bit of agoraphobia is too strong a word, but a little bit of unease with wide open landscapes
Mhm.
from a height.
Yeah.
So I would probably stay maybe just inside
Yes.
the door. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, I've certainly slept worse places than the corner of a well-kept elven home.
There's also beds, plural.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then sure,
There's
yes.
two
I-
beds.
I would happily use a bed. That's fine.
All right. Excellent. So then did you in the morning say, hey, I'm going to the jeweler?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would let everybody know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Like, I have a debt to repay, and I can never imagine a better place to find a gift for a craftsperson of jewelry than at somewhere as fine as this.
That makes sense. I think Runa would be curious to go and see what the jeweler has, but I have a letter to send also.
Okay.
So I have an errand for the morning.
Sausage.
I'll go with Hannar for a little bit, but like I'm in full tourist mode, and I want to go get stuff for like Bastion, for Petunia.
Oh.
Aw.
I'll get a little something like there's just tiny little trinkets, like the
Mhm.
elven equivalent of like a refrigerator magnet. I'll get something for Yam Tuberson, and I'll get
Visit
something for
Mithlond.
your grandma and your ma too,
Aw.
and for Ingrid and for Valdis. And I'll kind of, I don't know when I'm going to be here again. I'm going to get a little something for everybody now.
All right. So as you walk, you go kind of through that market area we described last session. There's like the set shops, but they do have they're not used to a lot of like tourists coming through. A lot of elves do come through here before they leave though. And some of them do kind of take mementos and things like that. What's interesting is you see that there are there's like small like bracelets and like lockets and things,
Oh.
but they have other places from Middle Earth in them. Like when you open them, it's like a locket of of Rivendell, or a drawing of the Blue Mountains, or things like that. So that like when these elves are in Valinor, they have mementos of places they were meant something to them when they were in Middle Earth. Most of them don't live in Mithlond, so Mithlond actually isn't what's on most of these things.
Oh, well, fair, fair. I'll grab like a little, a few of those. Like,
Okay,
I'll either trade what things that I have or what few coins I've got.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of them are so just kind of delighted
Yeah.
because these are not. They're very well crafted, but they're not expensive things. These are tokens that are meant more for nostalgia than like expensive, beautiful jewelry that's like going to impress other people.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and some of the things are like there's some bracelets that are made out of like shells that have been kind of sanded into beads and things like that. So yeah, so just small things like that. So you have a bunch of little trinkets. So if you want to just like write down, or it may not even matter. We'll just assume you have something
Yeah,
for each.
handful of trinkets. Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of the elves just like give them to you because they're just like, oh, you're excited about my here. I've never met a hobbit before. They never come this way.
And I feel like kind of almost at home. I'm just like, may go on, walking around.
They're very delighted by this. They're very, yes. And you get more of the little like foods and like little snacks and things like that. So.
That's good news for the trip.
Yes.
I squirrel all those away.
Okay.
Awesome.
And you're the same thing as you go through. There's all these items, and everyone's delighted to see a dwarf and a hobbit together.
Sure.
Oh, we heard about you. That people had seen you yesterday, and some people, oh, I saw you yesterday too. Like, you're kind of the stars of the market at the moment.
I think probably like halfway through the walk through the market, I've run out of my little candies. So I'm like, I don't know what. So like, I start giving away anything on me, like little whatever's. Like, oh, here's a drill bit, and here's just whatever I happen to find.
Yeah.
In a pocket. So like, here's some seasoning, and here's some.
Yeah, the elves are delighted, and they take these gifts very graciously, some of them bowing. They all assume it's a strange dwarven custom to give things that aren't really worth anything. Like maybe it's like symbolic of something, and so they're being very respectful, like overly respectful about it.
Oh my god.
And I'm just like, if no one looks me in the eye, they won't know that I've run out.
So funny.
Like it's restrained dwarven panic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like it's just the elves are
like brie hand soap.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Thank you, Master Dwarf. I'm honored by your gift of pocket
Oh.
lint or whatever it is.
I haven't gotten that far.
But they're just like very, very gracious about it. And you make your way, and eventually you do get to the jeweler, who's very excited to have you in their shop. It's a very slender, tall build. Kind of you can't really tell androgynous, like so they're going by they them. Like very dark hair and sort of like a sandy olive color skin, and a voice that's like a little bit of like a tenor voice. So it's just like a little high, but still very kind of like rich. May Gavanen, welcome.
Indeed.
I saw the two of you pass by yesterday. I'm very glad that you decided to return to my shop. I'm honored.
Oh yes. I find myself in need of an impressive piece of jewelry, and I thought of no better place that I have seen in my travels.
No better place.
No, well, a dwarf asking for jewelry from my shop. That is a rare happenstance indeed. Come look at what I have. And they go and there's like these statues, like partial statues of like necks and shoulders, and some of it looks almost like it switches between pieces that look like they're part of like a body to like a tree, and that so it's just kind of this flowing like display on these counters that they basically look like they're carved out of this like smooth beechwood. But when you touch it, you realize it's the same stone that's like circling the cliffs, and it's just so expertly carved that it looks like organic material and like carved into these figures. And the jewelry is draped on all these kind of places.
Sure.
Now the jewelry is very different from most dwarven jewelry.
Sure.
As we kind of described earlier, dwarven jewelry tends to be kind of geometric. If we're kind of putting style with it, it's sort of Art Nouveau or
Art Deco.
Art Deco.
Okay.
And then the elves are much more Art Nouveau, like more like organic lines and like curves and kind of flowing into each other.
I think I would probably look for like a headpiece.
Okay.
Most neck jewelry is probably to different proportions than dwarves.
Ah, good thinking.
So it would be very awkward. Like, here's a piece that you can't ever wear or enjoy. Sorry. So like, not like a crown, but just
Circlet.
a circlet kind of a thing.
Okay.
A
Something
period.
Yeah.
along those lines.
Sure. They have a whole bunch of those. Now I wish I'd like brought mine. They have one that is a little bit more like geometric, that's like straight across, and then it has these like fine chains that kind of drape over where the hair would be.
Okay.
And they're kind of woven into a geometric pattern in the back, these fine like silver chains. And then it's a little bit more of, it's still flowing, but it's a little bit more like right angles, sort of inspired by stars. So it's got a little bit more of the edges there with a few like really nicely cut gems like in the circlet itself. And then at the end of all the little chains, there's like one gem.
Okay.
What gem would you like it to be?
Oh Lord. I'm trying to think. Ancient geology lessons.
Uh-oh.
What would be in sort of a sandstony area?
Oh, okay. I have no idea. So any gem
sure.
you'd like.
And I'm sure I'll get the answer wrong, even if I remembered something.
Thinking like a
but-
dwarf.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find something that probably isn't in the mountains where she lives.
Oh, I see. So
Like
rare.
something less, like
There's probably a lot of pearls, and there's probably
Another coastal one would be sunstone.
oh yeah, sunstone would be a
Alright,
lovely
fair
one.
yeah, probably not pearl specifically. That's a little traumatizing.
We've done enough.
Okay. Okay. There'd be like mother of pearl from the inside of stones.
That'd be fine. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Would be great.
Lovely. Okay. So we'll say that maybe there's like a combination of a couple of those. No pearls.
Sure.
Yeah, and you are, they are delighted, and
Certainly.
I designed this one myself. I'm glad that you were so fond of it.
Indeed.
Indeed.
It looks like nothing from home,
Oh,
and that's what I like.
all right. For a moment, there's like a little bit like, is that a compliment? And then you're like, that's sort of like, all right. Like, yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
he gets it.
even if they
Or they get
they
it.
didn't take it as a compliment,
Yeah.
I'm buying it.
Yes.
So, like,
Yeah.
I'd be a weird customer that's like, oh, how disgusting. Here, take my money. Like,
That's true. Is it for someone special?
well, I owe a great debt to a friend back home that she was able to help me with a rather significant problem. So I thought that I would, now that I've traveled all the way here, find something new and exciting to send home.
Exciting.
Yeah. Yes. Very exciting. Well, there you go. Anything for you, Master Hobbit?
Oh no. This was all his business.
Well, if,
Wonderful seeing everything here.
if you see something you'd like to...
Oh, it's all right. I got my trinkets.
Oh, all right.
I'll dole them out as we travel.
Well, as a neighbor who's very near us in the Shire, why don't you take this? And he takes like a simple. It's just like a little like arm like clasp. It's not like a bracer. It's like a
Like a bangle?
like,
Like a torque?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
uh-huh.
well, yeah, something a
It's
little bit bigger.
thicker, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking like not Wonder Woman, like the
Yeah,
Wonder
yeah.
Woman in the TV show where it
Yeah.
was like
Oh yeah.
bracelets,
This is
but
thick
not
kinda cuff
quite.
bracelet. Yeah,
not quite
yeah.
bracers, but
cuff.
like
Yeah,
cuff.
Cuff. There we go. That's
Cuff.
the word.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Doing really good.
And it's obviously simple. It may not have been. It may not even be finished. It looks beautiful. It does not look bad at all. But it's obviously like something maybe that they decided not to sell. But it like clips together. And he gives it to you.
Oh, well, I thank them kindly. Well, thank you. This was quite a surprise. I'm very touched by this.
It does my heart well to know that though we may be leaving these shores, that we leave some things behind. And especially for ones who are so brave and take the time to know us before we leave. It is a rare thing. So the cuff kind of has what looks like clouds kind of carved into it. It looks like a project that they probably just were kind of working on, like personal project that like wasn't really made to sell. And then, yeah,
Can it have stars, like some constellations on like a little strip of it?
totally.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like they were sitting there and kind of were like, oh, and they carved like this what they were seeing outside their room one night, like onto some silver.
Oh. Okay.
And made it a little cuff. It's not something that would probably appeal to a lot of elves because it is kind of a little bit rustic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I look at it and I kind of mutter under my breath, I know exactly who I'm gonna give this one to.
Very good. Well, Namadi.
Indeed.
That's
And
quite nice. Sorry. All right.
one more thing while I'm here, I'd go and find a very elven-looking ring.
Oh yeah.
Like
There's a lot of those.
like maybe it looks like a tree, like the
Oh.
fitting
Yeah.
for whatever gemstones in it looks like, the branches of a tree kind of
Oh yeah. That's
something.
a theme in a lot of the jewelry.
Sure.
The whole store is themed that way.
Yeah.
So I would get that for myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Aw.
Very nice. Yeah. So it's what probably is it's probably. Do you want it to be because they're themed on Telperion and Laurelin.
Sure.
So do you want it to be Laurelin the golden tree, or do you want it to be Telperion the silver tree?
Probably golden.
Okay. So good choice. So yeah, it starts as this gold band that underneath your finger like twists, and then it kind of twists unto itself up above, and then the branches reach out, and then on top of it is like an artistic representation of one of the blossoms. So it's like the
all
the
right.
branches of the tree holding one of Laurelin's golden blossoms. And any elf immediately would recognize the symbolism and what this is supposed to be. Whether it's and when you look at it, did they get the details correct, like of Laurelin?
Probably not.
Okay.
It's definitely like the elven game of telephone. Like they live a long time,
Yeah.
but
It's
still.
very rare
Yeah.
for an elf in this who's still in Middle Earth to have seen the trees, or
So-
an elf anywhere to have seen the trees. Most of them died.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, they didn't get along real well with a lot of things. So okay.
So yeah, I mean, but I get it.
Yeah.
Right. Like when you go see some artist's representation of something, you don't expect it to be a photocopy,
Right.
that kind of a thing. So yeah, but that's perfect.
Okay. Awesome.
And then like I would hand over like a large pouch of gold,
Oh, okay.
and I don't have any way to value these things, but
Okay.
basically, in character,
Mhm.
I'm handing over whatever I've got,
Okay.
and I will be destitute for a while.
Okay. They will take some of the payment. They'll kind of smile and like sit, and it's sort of like when you go to another country and you're trying to pay. Here's coins.
Yeah.
Here.
Which one of these is the dollar?
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like
And
that.
My pouch is 100% like a mix of like the dwarven coinage and human stuff and
Yeah.
Hobbit, whatever they use.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
It's probably like a wood chip.
Yeah. Yeah, like carved wooden nickels.
Yeah, saying IOU on it.
Yeah.
They take some time because they're actually sort of fascinated. They like look at each one of the coins from different places, and you notice if you watch carefully that they're kind of like pulling stuff from each different place. They want like a collection.
Oh.
But they pull out a scale and they like put the coins on a scale to see, and then they give you some. There is some. They give you some back,
Okay.
and thank you so much. I hope you enjoy that. That ring has a special significance. It means a lot to the elves.
Yes. And me as well.
Oh,
It was beautiful.
the
And
ring.
then
Yes.
Just kind of start to go.
The elf kind of blinks for a moment. Yes, the ring is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh.
Enjoy, my friends. And if you ever return, I would love to have you visit me again.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Your work is impeccable.
Impeccable.
Takes a deep bow, and then you leave, so it's not awkward anymore.
At least it's not awkward for them.
Them
anymore.
anymore. Yeah.
These two, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I think specifically on the way back, though, I try and head towards like the street one off of the market.
mhm.
You know, like when you're like, oh, that's the busy road. I always take this one that goes through some neighborhood that's like one block over.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel bad that I'm out of things.
Oh.
And I'm like, maybe this way would be less crowded and it'd be easier for us to walk back.
I'm gonna peel away from you at that point. I'm gonna
Oh, very
go
good,
down
very good.
busy. I'm gonna be the social little hobbit, just
Excellent.
kind of
Sure.
wide-eyed looking at everything.
Everyone engages with you, and everyone who doesn't even like have something necessarily to say, like they all have like an excuse to come up and talk to you or ask you a question. So it's very social. Hannar, as you walk up this side street, you realize how empty the city really is. Like you really like one off this main road, and most of these homes you can tell have not been lived in or opened. And you can tell this used to be also like a fairly busy market street, and the signs are gone. They're packed up. There's nothing here. And it does sort of remind you of Numinous for a moment. You kind of look and it's like a little bit of an echo, and you can almost see they're not the ghosts of elves, but you can, the same way you saw the ghosts walking around in Numinous, you see in your imagination what it would have looked like when the elves were bustling here as well.
Sure. I imagine walking down the street and seeing like all the little things that over, like there's that one step that's a little worn on one side because the person was right-handed, so they tend to step with their right foot first. And, you know, just those little signs of thousands of years of habitation that are just remain in the stone more than anything. And Hannar probably kind of nods to himself like, stone always remembers.
I love that. Awesome. Very good. All right, so you're making your way back. We're going to catch up with our friends over here. So you were sending off a letter.
Yes. So Runa is writing a letter back home to her grandmother Ingrith, just for some advice, like just asking hypothetically, you know, if her grandmother in her travels came across a really very dangerous and important cursed object, like if that happened in any way, what would you do with it and where should it go?
Okay.
Very cute.
I'm assuming you're being very cagey about what the object is.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
Now,
like asking for a friend.
yeah. Would your family know what the Palantir was if, like, you said that or you told them what it was?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think in character, I'm not sure
Okay.
either. She's
Okay.
like, they might know.
Yeah.
And also, if this letter gets intercepted,
Yeah.
someone could read it and know
That's
if
a
I
good
just
idea.
wrote it as what it is. So she's definitely being very vague about what it is. But looking for some advice.
Okay. Sounds good. Do you have like code word phrases with your mom and your grandmother?
Oh, probably,
Okay.
yeah.
So, what's your code word for really, 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 really dangerous, but also worth a lot?
Let's see.
Palantir? Oh wait, no.
Oh, wait.
No. Oh, precious.
Oh, God.
Very good.
Uh,
You have a precious item. That always goes well in Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I
No
picked
problems
it.
here.
it's fine.
Yeah, totally fine. No problems.
That's awesome.
Yes. All right. So you send that off, and
Yeah.
I mean, Bree is like maybe a day or two. They have sort of like the equivalent of like the Pony Express, but not quite so like hustle bustle
Mhm.
because hobbits are involved. So
Yeah.
it's more like a yeah.
You get hustle or bustle.
Yeah,
you cannot
you
have
can't have
both.
both at the same time. Yeah, yeah.
Is there like a Hobbit way station here? That
Well, I think the elves take it towards
take it
the
up there?
yeah to the edge of the Shire, and then from there the hobbits deliver.
So it moves very quickly for a while.
Yeah,
Right.
For like half a day.
Then it's just
yeah,
on a cart for a little
And
bit.
then you gotta stop for drinking Michael Delving.
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
gotta go to Hobbiton and have
Yeah,
dinner.
exactly.
exactly.
It's a very uneven relay race.
Yeah, if there was tracking, you'd be like, "Why is it up there now? I don't understand."
It says it's 2 stops away, but that was yesterday.
That was yeah.
Did it go backwards?
Yep, exactly. So yeah.
Great.
All right, and last but not least,
Oh,
Aerlind, you've been home. You've been in what was your home. And how does it feel to see your friends in the home that you have been avoiding?
it's nice in that there is life where even I think for a little while, because this is why Aerlind isn't here anymore. So having life there again is refreshing and lovely. But it is kind of unsatisfying. It doesn't actually shake the chill of loneliness off the place like he thought it might.
Oh,
Because he can't help but think about what it would be like for all of them to have met Marin. And
yeah.
that view of the sea that has Sausage so captivated. Aerlind pretty much only eats out there and then leaves, even though it's absolutely beautiful because that was their spot. They would spend every day that they were not in the shipyard sitting there and talking and pointing out at the ocean and talking about the boats that you can see if you look at all. And so I think that there's kind of a coming to terms with the fact that it isn't that the house is empty.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't that he's not feeling the call, which is what he thought before we arrived here. It is just that it isn't Marin. And the sea is there. It's not calling. What is calling is his friends. Maybe running around the house and like literally yelling, but also feeling the pull inland is suddenly stronger. And putting all the sheets and everything on there, there's a little bit of determination and like, okay, we're going, we're doing this. And it's not even that he's saying goodbye to the memory that's there because it's already gone.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of a finality to it for now.
Yeah. Right. So you wanted to head down to the dock.
Yes. Just to go down there and like hear the bustle of the shipyards and see everyone, rigging all of the sails and all of that stuff, just to sit and hear the clamor of the shipyard making these ships. And it's almost white noise to him, where it's just nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go down to the very, very end of the docks where you had taken off yesterday for your ride. Everyone's back to work. There's no joy rides today. And yeah, you just hear, the crash of, they're not huge waves, but like on the shores of the harbor, and the waves, like the way the dock kind of like does the bloop, 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 like sound as the waves go underneath it. The cry of all the seabirds, the sound of the wind, and the way it just blows through the tops of the cliffs here. Like it has this sound that most people would never notice, but it's part of who you are. So it's one of those things that like you don't notice it when you're there, but when you're not there, you miss it. And just a million little sounds like that. You know, the sounds of the boats, the lap of the ocean against the hulls of the boats, the people calling out to each other, and the lines. You can hear the ropes as they're being pulled, and the sails as they like catch the wind, or as they're like, you know, as they unfurl, or when they're wrapping them up, and all the busyness and the sound of people's feet on the decks and the dock, and all these things. Just like if you close your eyes, it's just all around you, and it just feels like, and you tell me how it feels.
Like a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's like the one place in this whole city that's alive.
Yeah.
And it works perfectly. And like nothing has changed in the years now it's been since he's been home. And it's the exact same.
I love that. I hadn't even thought of that. Like, this is the one place that in a city that is emptying out and dying, this will be the last place where there is activity in this city. And that's amazing. Yeah, it is kind of the heart of the city. You're right. That's beautiful. So yeah, you're standing there, you're hearing this. And then there's a set of like footsteps behind you that you instantly recognize as Círdan's. I take it that you are leaving again.
We are. We're making our way inland to Madras.
Yes. I was hoping you might stay a few more days, but you do have quite an important errand to run.
Yes, and time doesn't wait.
It's interesting how so much stands still for our kind. But the speed of this world never waits for us. I think more than most elves, you are able to ride that speed, my friend.
It was a purpose that I felt quite called to, and I'll admit I feel like a tree coming into bloom for the first time.
That is evident. I was disappointed when you left, and perplexed.
I'm sorry.
He puts his hand on your shoulder. I understand now. I knew that you were missing something. And your friends are remarkable.
They're wonderful. And I always have this place.
Yes.
The seawater never really leaves.
Does not. I think you have many years yet before you have to worry about the last of us not being here. I have no plans to leave my tower anytime soon, at least.
There's whole citadels that still need emptying.
There's quite a lot of us still. As empty as the city seems compared to, well, when you were a child. There's many, many more beyond, in Imlandris and Lothlorien. They take forever. You know Galadriel. She has to do everything with a purpose.
Yes.
He kind of is joking.
Yes.
There's great reverence, but it's like when family kind of ribs family, even though he's not directly related to her. Like there's very few great elves left in the world, and they are they get along well.
Aerlind's that awkward student that's like, yes, this very famous person that you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that queen, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for your hospitality and wisdom above all else.
I think all of us learned something from our interaction these last few days. That dwarf friend is remarkable. To have actually seen the trees. He kind of like shakes his head and then like looks out to sea, like the thing he likes looking at.
Thank you. We will be departing today,
Yes.
but I will return.
I hope you do. And Aerlind, and he looks troubled for a moment. Your fate is your choice. There are, and there have been in the past, those who chose not to go to Valinor. And that can be your choice if you wish it. You have some time before you have to decide, of course.
Yes.
But just know that if your purpose and your fate is to remain here, as sad it would be, as sad as it would be to lose your light, if it would be extinguished by doing something that your heart isn't in, then it may in fact be the right choice to burn brightly for a short time, than to slowly be snuffed out for eternity.
Thank you. I think actually coming home has reminded me that someday that journey is for me.
I'm glad to hear it. Kind of like pats your shoulder. Well, take care of your friends. I expect them to come visit me again, too. I want to talk more with this dwarf, and they're all so interesting.
I'll have to bring you some brie hospitality next time.
That sounds fascinating. Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I am very excited about it.
Until then, Namarie.
Namarie. And he kind of like smiles at you, nods, and then turns around and starts shouting to someone who's doing something wrong on a boat. And
Yeah.
goes
Aerlind
over and gets back to work.
very lightly straightens themselves up and makes their way back to their home and just like, this is fine and normal. It's a normal day. Everything's fine.
Yeah, all right. And are you ready to set off on your journey?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
All right.
ready as we'll ever be.
All right.
Pillage all the provisions we can possibly
Yeah,
from my home.
I got a
and...
new set of snacks. Right?
Yeah, we're-
Give me more stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
No, and wait, before we leave, you know, when you and I kind of have a moment together, I'll pull out that silver cuff and I'll pass it to you. And I'll say,
Aw.
I don't know if we're ever going to be back here again, but I want you to have this. And I want you to remember sitting out by the sea and hearing the waves and just spending time together enjoying the night air, elven food.
Thank you, Sausage. This is beautiful. I would never forget that. But this, every time I look at it, I will think of our night by the sea.
I give you a nod and I urge the horses forward.
Awesome. You might have to unlock that layer if you wanted to move it on the thing. Yeah, okay.
I think as we're packing up in the house to leave, Runa, tries to tidy up the spaces she was in. And she saw how, like, uncomfortable Aerlind was coming home. So she hides a couple notes, like, around the house of just, like, little memories of, like, this was really fun when we sang in the living room together. Or, like, I really loved sitting on your balcony. And just, like, for the next time he comes home to, like, be greeted by something new in the house.
That's so
That's
awesome.
so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
so awesome. That's great.
Oh man. Okay. That's so good. Okay. Very good. All right. So let us plan our journey then.
All right.
So on our map, very good. And so basically, for those of you who haven't seen a journey before, because I think it's been a couple sessions since we've done one,
Yeah.
each one of the hexes on the map represents 1 day's worth of travel. And so the party actually will go through and draw on there. We're using Jamboard, which is a free app from Google. They'll draw the route that they wish to take. There's areas that are safer, which are the green areas. And there are the wild areas, which are kind of the tan areas. And then there are the reddish brown areas, and those are like the more dangerous areas. So each one comes with its own risks and reward, or not. Green is just easy, but
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Technically, I know we're supposed to be going to bridges.
Mhm.
To leave Mithlond proper, would we be able to cross the Gulf of Loon?
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Okay,
yeah, that's
I was
ridiculous.
Like, that feels like we should be able
Yeah,
to
no.
do that.
I mean, I think you know a guy that's good with boats.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, and Mithlond and the Greyhaven's like
Yeah,
it's
they're
all
the
one.
same
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't show it on the map, but I kind of have always pictured it as like encircling that whole
Yeah, me
like
too.
Gulf area. So yeah, you can walk around. There's a bridge there, and it'll be fine.
Great. So then, will we just go
We can pretty much cut straight
Mithlond through the
across.
Shire? Yeah.
Yeah. Make a stop at my place and then make a stop at
Heck
Bree.
yeah. We'll go southward towards the tower. Anyone just shout it out if you think I'm making the wrong turn here. Because we're going to Michael Delving, baby.
Yeah.
And then up past Hobbiton along the road.
Yay, road.
Over the
Mhm.
Brandywine. Straight to Bree. And then through Bree. Past, wow, familiar roads. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Just sticking to the road. We like that extra bonus of
Yeah.
being on a road.
It's very nice.
This gets really harrowing.
Woo.
And then we're gonna make it to Rivendell.
Fingers crossed.
Feels
I like how they made a Rivendell like completely surrounded by danger.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it feels good. All right. Now, generally, what they suggest is that we break it into like 2-week journeys.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a long journey.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of break it up. It might be a good idea to do like an end of journey in Michael Delving, and then an end of journey in Bree, and then do the rest of the journey, or however you all want to do that.
We could probably make it to Bree without taking a too long of a break, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dice allowing, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if it looks like things are going badly, can we pull up short?
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
So,
We've got safe places to do it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
At least until Bree.
yeah. I would like to find you can't just be like in the middle of like, okay, now we're at the end of a journey in the middle of nowhere, but like
No, but
if
like,
you change course and go somewhere where there is a destination, yes.
yeah, like if things. I'm not saying it's going to happen, Dice. This is an example.
Earmuffs dice.
If things go horribly badly between the White Towers and Michael Delving,
Yes.
we can stop. We can be like, we need to rest. We can't make it to Bree.
Yeah, you can stop
Yeah.
in Michael Delving, yes.
Yeah.
Great.
That kind of thing.
It's
Yes.
the second leg of the journey that's
Yeah.
really scary.
Yeah, that's the part that
Mm-hmm.
might be a little stressful, yeah. Yeah, all right. Very good. Then let us begin. Nope, I don't have dice. Where's my dice?
You do need those.
I do. All right. So, reminder: the way this works, we do marching tests. So each of you choose one of the roles. There's a guide, a scout, a lookout, and a hunter. The guide will roll travel, and if successful, the first event will happen 3 hexes away, +1 for every ultimate success. If it fails, the event occurs 2 hexes away. And we're not quite in autumn yet. I am going to say we're like starting to come up on probably the end of summer-ish, because we've kind of been traveling through late spring, early summer. And then I'll roll the success die on the event table, and that'll tell us whether it was the scout, the lookout, or the hunters who had the issue. And then we will resolve the event and figure out what happened. And I think that's everything. And we'll say that you still have your shadows, obviously.
Yes.
But other than that, your time in the Elven City has, it's refreshed you. You don't have any endurance problems. You're all good.
Sleeping in your own bed is so good.
Yeah. Sleeping in your own elven bed is even better. And there's just like the ocean vibe of, ocean town, super chill. All right, awesome. I do need to find dice for a moment. So why don't you talk about
Yeah,
what
we have
roles
to
you're gonna do?
Figure out what we're doing anyway.
Yeah. Again, I'm best equipped for guide or lookout. Why don't I do lookout?
Say sure.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I don't know where mine disappeared.
Yeah, no worries, yeah.
I am best suited for guide or lookout as well. So I can do
You want to guide us out of?
Yeah, I can guide us out of Mithlond,
territory,
yeah.
and then I'll start going into. I'll start.
Yeah, we'll
going
trade.
into the Shire.
I'm pretty good scout, but I at least have a point in hunting now.
I have 2 points in hunting, so I think I am the designated hunter.
Also, I think you enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
If it were Aerlind being the hunter, it would be very like,
She's probably like walking in circles like around you as we go down the road. Like, is it time for me to go hunting yet? Is it time yet?
Oh, I can still see the city. Give it a minute.
I'm bored.
What
Can I
would
go?
you hunt here?
All right.
All right, so it's me.
Excellent. Make that travel roll.
How do I roll dice? Haven't done it in a minute.
Yeah. So we always roll one of the feet die, and then
Travel is favored for me.
nice. So that means you roll two.
And that's a Gandalf room.
Yeah.
So I definitely succeed. Nothing else, but
Nothing else. Okay. So you succeed. So that means our first event is 3 hexes away. So if you'll
Nice.
move our little arrow on the map, and then I will roll 6. So our hunter.
Ooh, that's me.
Yeah.
It's time to hunt.
It's time to hunt.
So let's see. Go ahead. So you're going to roll hunting.
Okay.
Shocking.
Shocking. Okay. So I roll whoopies and one of this. Do a good job.
Oh, and we're along. Are we along the road?
yes,
yet?
we are along the road.
Mhm.
Yes. So you get to roll 1 extra die.
Okay, great.
Please.
Do better.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly better. Is that good enough? Yes. I just squeaked by.
Okay.
Success.
Success. All right. What is the number on your feet die?
7.
It was a 7. Okay.
Yeah.
So a mishap.
Mm.
So we're going to take 2 fatigue for everyone for this part of the journey.
Okay.
So what was the mishap that you narrowly avoided?
Let's see. Mishap that I narrowly avoided.
Mhm.
What kind of wildlife do we have around here?
I mean, it's sort of it's still near the ocean, so there's a lot of like bird life. There's a lot of flatlands too, so there's like grazing. You're kind of transitioning from kind of the ocean biome into more like plains, where there's more like deer type animals. There are starting to be a little bit of wooded areas.
Okay.
But not quite like forest yet. So picture, yeah.
Could it be like a coastal rattlesnake problem?
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, we'll say that there's some sort of like poisonous snake.
And we have a dog with us. Snakes
Yeah,
and dogs.
don't do well.
Mm-mm,
Yeah.
not good.
And horses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I think the narrowly avoided is like we would have come upon them unaware if I hadn't been like tracking animals currently to try to do some hunting.
Okay. Perfect. Very good. Well, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Me too.
All right. Next leg of the journey. Does anyone want to switch roles?
I can get us to the Shire's edge and then
Sure. Maybe another like 3 hexes or
Yeah.
so. Sure.
Mhm.
Sure. Okay. Keep on looking out then.
it's a good thing I rolled favored, but I still don't succeed.
Okay. Oops. Okay, so the event is going to happen 2 hexes away.
Okay.
I'm
As
gonna
we pass
roll.
the white towers.
Yes. Oh. Uh-oh, that's not good. Whatever it's going to be is not going to be good.
Uh-oh.
So let's roll.
Aerlind was getting cocky about being good
No,
at guiding
yeah.
people.
Number 2 are scout.
Nah.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
So roll whether you succeed or not, and as a scout, you're going to roll explore.
Yes. Here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any hint that there's something bad happening beforehand?
I don't know. because you haven't rolled to see if you're successful or not.
Sure, I know, but like in the general environment, like, is there storm rolling in? Is there anything that would make scouting harder?
Oh no, you still get in one extra die because you're
Yeah.
along a road.
Right.
So I mean, maybe.
Yeah, technically we're not on our road yet.
Oh, we'll see. It's
We're
fine.
not? Oh.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
The
okay.
elves don't believe in roads.
Yeah, they
Where they're going, they don't need roads.
It's true. Ruh-roh.
All right, tone check.
Yes.
I know I'm enemy of fun.
No.
I'm not gonna tell you. You have to roll, and then I'll tell you what happens.
Okay. I'm
don't know what
asking because I'm deciding whether I'm going to use my little knack
Oh, I see.
before I roll. Because I have to decide before I roll if I'm going to do that.
Okay,
That's all.
but the thing is I don't know until you
How bad?
roll.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird case.
Yeah.
I picked this as one of the, with my little dwarven old magics
Is there a limit?
ability.
Is there a limit to how often you can use it?
There is, but
I would probably suggest that you not use it in the green area of the map.
sure, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I picked it and I put it on explore specifically. Like I
Yeah.
had to pick 3 skills for it to work with.
Yeah.
And I was like, that seems like a skill that comes up a lot. Let me do that.
Yeah, I mean you do you,
But-
but there's a lot of like red brown around Rivendell.
You're right. That's not a very high die number there.
Uh-oh.
Well, I made it though. I made it.
Okay. Woo. Very good.
With a rune.
Oh.
Oh, I did. Yes. Yeah.
Great success.
Great.
I always forget to look for that. I'm always so focused on did I get
Yeah.
good or
yeah.
bad there?
Did I do number good?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. So let's see. You succeeded, so you narrowly avoided the consequence. I just need to make sure real quick, because I rolled an Eye of Sauron. That doesn't like
Seems like it should
trump
mean
your
something.
yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know
that
if that
feels like-
trumps
Mhm.
your success roll. Let's see. Okay. I think it still is okay since you succeeded. According to my notes, there's nothing that says the Eye of Sauron screws you over no matter what. Okay. At least in this part of the game.
Sure.
Yeah.
I might get it wrong, but someone will tell me, I'm sure. So there is a terrible misfortune. We're going to say you all still take 3 fatigue because you pass something that narrowly, you narrowly avert it. Yeah, in fact, you would have been wounded if you'd failed, which is a big deal. It was an actual wound, not fatigues.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, but it's one of those things that like misses you by like a hair's breadth, but then it causes something awful to happen nearby, which is why you all take extra fatigue.
Well, these are kind of plains-y without. So what about like I was thinking before, sort of a storm gathers,
Okay.
lightning strikes, and since it's grassy,
Oh.
it becomes a grass fire that spreads very quickly.
Okay.
So we had to hustle.
Mhm.
Hence, we got extra fatigue because we were like, and they have to keep running beyond where we would have stopped for the night
Okay.
to get away from, over a rise or past a creek or something that would stop the fire.
I'm gonna add a little bit to that.
Sure.
There's a farmer and some fields nearby, and a lot of his crops are burned in this fire. You help save some of his animals and stuff, but in trying to help, that may have been where you almost got trapped in the fire yourself, and you were able to escape then.
Sure.
But there's also a lot of kind of sadness in the fatigue too, of you spent so much energy trying to help and all these things, but you saved, him and, his husband, but it's still a huge loss for them. Even though they're happy to be okay right now, in a couple days they're going to be like, oh no, now what do we do?
We have nothing to take to the market. Oh,
Yeah.
great. Get the magic beans ready.
Oh, that doesn't end well ever. All right. Next one.
I'm going to start.
Why don't you go back?
Start guiding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even though we're not on a road yet, I will give you an extra die since we're in the Shire, and you're a Hobbit of the Shire.
Thank you. All right, so I'll need that too. I don't think I have anything. Oh no, I do have stuff on in
So that's
travel, right?
5 fatigue so far, everyone.
Okay.
Got it.
I feel like hobbits know like farmers' fields by smell.
Oh,
You
sure,
know,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Like, oh, you know,
I can see that.
Yeah.
like, oh, the corn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I certainly made that.
Yeah.
But it is just a rate. It's a success.
Okay. So that is 3 hexes away, though.
Okay.
So make it 3 hexes.
If I can find us. There we go.
All right.
Almost to Michael Delving.
Started. I don't know if it's supposed to be this way, but I like rolling the journey first. The journey table first. I haven't done that before. You're supposed to roll the event table first to see who gets it.
Uh-huh.
But I like knowing how dire it is before I know which
Oh,
one.
yeah.
It's much more fun.
How bad is this
How bad
going
is
to be?
this one? Okay, this one's middle bad. Like not super bad.
It's only medium bad.
It's medium. 6 again. So Hunter.
That's me.
Go, Runa.
All right.
Only
Time to
medium
hunt.
bad.
It's only medium bad. Let's do this. Okay, some of you did a bad job last time, so we're gonna pick different dice.
Not a good pep talk.
Go dice, go.
They're being benched. It's bad. Wait, why did I get an extra die last time? And do I
Road.
get it again?
Road. Well, no, because we're not actually on a road.
We're almost on a road.
Yeah, almost on the road.
And then we'll be on a road until the end of this.
Hmm.
That went for
Whoa.
wonder.
Better. Good job. See what they did? Yes, I succeed, but nothing special.
Okay. Very good. So it's just a little mishap. You don't take any extra fatigue because you succeeded. Everyone takes 2 fatigue, which is just the normal amount. And again, you're sort of noticing again a pattern of just like ill omens and kind of not darkness because it's still in the Shire, but just like a little bit. Things are just a little off for a place that's supposed to be totally safe, green, lush, like the safest place. One of the safest places in Middle Earth still. Between like Mithlond and Bree, like just farmlands, you're still noticing like just like bad luck and like just not great things happening. So you're noticing kind of that pattern again. Thanks, dice. So what is it? The slight mishap.
Let's see. Slight mishap is
And you averted it, so it doesn't actually happen to you.
yes. I think she finds some like very fresh wolf tracks while hunting and is like, "Oh, we just missed running into these guys.
Okay.
We better be very quiet going through because they might still be around."
I'm gonna say that also Ranyar kind of is acting a little weird. And you've seen a lot of wolf tracks. These look a little weird for wolf tracks. Like, they're a little bit bigger. Like, these are pretty big wolves. Like, they're obviously not dogs, but like, those paw prints are almost as big as Ranyar's.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. So,
Really tiptoeing
Yeah.
towards Michael Delving and
You
the
gonna
end
share that
here.
with everybody?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel so hot about that, considering one of our sheriffs fell to something. So
Interesting. I'm gonna have you just grab your mic and point it at your face.
Sorry about that.
No, you're okay. Just twist it. Yeah, that part. Just turn it. There you go. It was pointed at you when you started. Oh no, you don't have to turn it that much. Just because you keep kind of
There we
leaning
go.
this way.
Yeah.
That's fine. I have to keep
There we
doing
go.
it too. We're learning our new microphones, friends. All right. Perfect. All right. So far that's 5, 6, 7.
Wait.
Yep, we're at 7.
Everything's fine.
Maybe we do rest in Michael Delvin.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all want, I will open up my home again.
That seems like a good idea.
Besides, I have to stop to get Petunia.
Oh yeah.
Aww.
I have to get Petunia the trinket,
Mhm.
and I don't know if Bastion is here. If we need to travel further into East Farthing for that.
Okay. We'll find out. All right. Next, how many? Michael Dunning's right there.
Yeah, we
Okay.
literally have one day.
One more.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? It's the next hex, so I'm just gonna go ahead and call it and say that you're getting there.
Great, love that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
We see the wolf tracks and we're like,
Don't
never
mind.
mind.
Never mind, we'll just
actually.
keep
We're
going.
just gonna keep going.
Yeah. I think that's how the rules work anyway. I think you get like the last hex is kind of just like rounded in. Yeah. If I remember correctly or not, maybe whatever. All right. So you get into Michael Delving. You've been here seems forever ago.
Yeah.
And actually, strangely, for a role-playing game, it actually was kind of a while ago because this game really does kind of like stretch out time, which is fun. Yeah, and you've been here pretty recently. Was it here?
Oh, yeah. No, I did because I was called away. And
Yeah.
it was here.
Yeah,
It was here.
for the funeral,
The
right?
funeral, yeah.
Yeah. So things are much, more back to normal. It probably is a little strange for you because you haven't been living here the whole time, but things are bustling. There's not the same kind of like gloom over the town when, a sheriff has fallen and they're having, a large gathering and a large funeral, a memorial for someone. So, yeah, things are looking back to normal.
Okay. All right. While we're here, again, I'll invite you all to stay over at my place, and just how long do we want to stay? How long do you want to hang out? A couple of days?
Have you let on that there's something to be concerned about in the Shire?
You know what? When you see those tracks, I will share the details of the memorial that I went to with all of you, and say, yeah, we lost a sheriff to something big. How many tracks did you say? Was it one beast or was it many?
Not too many, but it was not one.
Oof, okay, that sends like a visible shiver down my spine. Well, of course, we can stay. You're all welcome to stay we're all welcome to stay at my place for at the Bungborough for as long as we want, as long as we need to rest our arses from the road. I might go into town and ask around about these things.
Perhaps we take a look around.
I was thinking the same.
I would hate to see something happen to any of these other farms, or any of the children, or other hobbits.
Agreed.
Exactly. We're here anyway, so if there's something we can do, we might as well lend a hand.
And rest.
And rest.
Yeah. Aye.
Let's stop for a second and let's do our end of journey
Yes.
mechanics.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
So we have to count the number of hexes that the company's journey has taken. And since we have mounts, then we have the journey length. So normally it'd be like,
I count 8, right?
Yeah, I think so.
okay, so instead of 8 days, that took you 4 days to get here.
Okay.
Cool.
And then you're going to record any fatigue gained from the events in the journey log.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were at 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
7 total.
And you reduce your fatigue by the vigor rating of your mount. So if you have no mount, nothing.
Okay.
Common basic mount, it's 1. If you're prosperous and have a good mount, it's 2. If you're rich and you have a fine mount, it's 3. I think we gave you basic for your walking, so it's
Yeah.
-1. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. And then you can further reduce your fatigue by rolling travel successfully. So removing 1 fatigue point plus 1 for every excellent or like super success.
Right.
Tangua.
To do it.
Come on,
Travel.
travel.
Well,
Oh,
hold
wait.
on. Let's see. Yes, a great success. So I get to remove 2.
Excellent.
Thank goodness. Because this next stretch is gonna be rough.
As with all travel rolls, I did not succeed, even though I was favored.
Oh.
That's wild.
Yeah.
For someone who likes to travel so much, you're really not great at it, Aerlind.
It's not
Like-
purposeful travel.
Yes, that's true.
I say like we burn fellowship points next time, like maybe in our next stop, because again we don't use those nearly as
That's
much.
true.
We
That is
burn like
true,
1 or
yeah.
2, and they
Sure.
replenish every game. So
I'm sorry, how many do we reduce if we succeeded?
1 and then 1 more for every Tangwar you got.
Okay.
Okay.
I basically spent this whole game fatigued.
yeah.
Why he's always so stressed.
The weight of the world on Aerlind. Just so tired of all the problems in the world. Also, if you take a prolonged rest, you lose 1 point. So if
What-
you're actually staying you can't do that along the journey. You have to wait till the end.
Prolonged rest. That's like a big
Yeah.
chunk of time. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What defines a big chunk of time?
Let me look.
Because I wouldn't want to stay here too long.
Yeah, we do
No.
have the pearl.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
I
our
certainly
task.
don't want to bring anything worse here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can be like, I take 4 prolonged rests in a day. Like,
No.
No. But I mean, like, the difference, there's a huge difference in my head of, like, it's a couple of days.
Oh no
versus-
no!
Yeah.
Like each
5
night.
or
Like
6
I think it's
days.
like each day you can do
Oh.
-1.
Yeah, we'll do that.
You want to
Yeah.
stay for like a couple of days?
Yeah, and then we'll
Yeah.
feel out what's going on in the Shire before we
Yeah,
move
yeah.
on.
Yeah. So
Okay.
prolonged rest is 1 a day. Usually it's a night's sleep.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Right.
So
No problem. No,
Yeah.
if it was like 2 weeks is a prolonged rest,
I mean,
then I'd
that's
be
a
like,
fellowship period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
oh wait.
Okay. That helps.
These 2 cheat sheets have
I'm going into the book.
conflicting information.
Going into the book.
Go in. Go.
Prolonged
Go.
rest.
One of these hint sheets always tells the truth.
Yeah.
The other one is lies.
They're brothers.
So you can do a short rest, which you can do once a day, usually around lunch, like it's like the Hobbit rest. And you recover strength score and endurance unless wounded. So then
Oh.
prolonged rest, yeah.
So it says, under normal circumstances, the company is allowed to take a single prolonged rest each day, usually night's sleep. But the Loremaster may allow the group to take more than 1 prolonged rest if the player heroes are recovering in a safe and comfortable place.
Got it.
Oh.
Nice.
All right, well, I'm going to go with this cheat sheet because it says prolonged rest, a night's sleep, recover all lost endurance if not wounded. Does that seem shady?
No.
It says no.
That's it.
Taking a prolonged rest, recover all lost
Okay,
endurance
that's right.
points.
Yeah, because even like that short rest, the midday
Yeah, yeah.
nap thing, I would get 4 fatigue
Yeah,
reduced.
yeah.
So that seems reasonable.
So this one is incorrect. I've never used you before
wait,
anyway.
is that replenishing lost endurance or
Yes.
All lost endurance
Endurance.
points.
If
and
not wounded.
fatigue counts as lost endurance?
Oh, no.
Nope.
Dang it. I switched.
That's
I mixed them up again.
oh, those are different.
Sorry. I keep doing that.
Yeah.
Fatigue and endurance seem
Oh.
Yeah.
they're not the same.
Not
So
the-
you gain back 1 point of fatigue. You get all your endurance back.
Okay.
Okay.
That's still pretty good though.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
yeah. If we take 2 or 3 days here, we'll get
Yeah.
most of our endurance back. Most of our
Your
fatigue.
fatigue
gone.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
None of us are wearied.
yeah,
So okay.
Yeah.
Couple days.
Yeah.
because you can lose endurance by being hit,
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
not
I really wish they'd named those things a little
Slightly different.
a little more different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do that every time we play, and I'm like, oh wait.
I think I understand what's going on. I'm going to take you at your word, and I'll
Yeah, yeah.
read this book while we figure it out.
Yeah. No.
Sure.
So endurance is like when you're hit. That's like when
Yeah.
you're in a fight.
Yeah.
So for if for a prolonged rest, you gain back all your endurance, but you gain back 1
Fatigue.
point
yes.
over
Got it.
Like your fatigue reduces by what? Because fatigue,
Yeah.
it counts like a negative stat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If sheltered in a safe refuge, you lose 1 fatigue after a prolonged rest.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're set. This
Gotcha.
is for sure correct because now these are matching now that I have the terms straight in my head once again.
Okay.
This is what happens when you don't play for 2 weeks, friends. All right. All right. So you just want to take a couple nights?
Yeah,
so.
I think
Yeah.
so. I
And then
think
also
so.
spend some time asking around Michael Delving and
Yeah.
Yeah. During the days in between resting, we can maybe go scout out in the woods.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna suggest doing some patrolling to look for tracks. Just make sure that there's nothing coming close to Michael Delving.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looked like I think the tracks were headed away from
Yeah.
from Michael Delving, but I think Runa wants to make sure.
Yeah. And will you hand me that lid that has the map of the Shire in it? So, you are all. I sound echoey. So you're all over here in Michael Delving. Okay, and you, where did your it was in East Farthing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Bastion
East
in
Farthing is this
Farthing.
zone over here. So you will be passing through it on your way to Rivendell, but basically, for it to be the same creature, that must mean that it's taking like it's wandering through the entire of the Shire.
Ooh.
And it looks like there were more than one of them. They were together when like wherever they left those tracks, they were together. Whether they are pack animals or not, you have no idea.
Yeah.
But so you are here. This is where it killed the sheriff.
Mhm.
Right.
Or they killed the sheriff.
But it did not kill the deputy. Sorry. It
Lucky for your nephew.
yeah.
Okay.
Or at the same time, it may be the same pack of creatures or whatever that have just been making their way across
Yeah.
in the direction that we were headed, which is not encouraging.
No.
But whatever it is not a indigenous to the Shire. So
Right.
To that end,
Mhm.
would I be able to look into or ponder in my deep elven knowledge as to what might be, based on the description and the information that you've already given, plus the footprints, is there anything that...
I will let you try. The problem with the and we even like role played this out. The information that Sausage got was very unreliable.
Yes.
Because like all the different hobbits were saying it was different things.
Oh, yeah.
So like yeah, so it like some of them didn't even think it was an animal. Some of them thought it was like a group
Yeah,
of
like
you know
brigands.
yeah,
disguised
and
as
things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
something, yeah.
So I will let you do a lore roll, but I'm gonna take 1 die out.
Sure.
I mean, unless you just disregard everything Sausage says and just use the footprint.
No, I think we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it because I roll favored.
Mm-hmm.
These dice are very confusing. I absolutely succeed.
Okay, very good.
Nothing special about it other than I succeed.
So there is like it was a footnote in a larger story of the Great Wars against the darkness. But there's a description of what may have once been like a dog or a wolf, but its fur is like burnt and stiff and is the color of like cold ashes. And its eyes gleam in the night. And it was known for, well, it was one of the lesser evils of the armies of darkness. It was very much feared by some of the lesser races. Or the lesser species, like men and like for sure. It was generally sent out on less important errands of Melkor and Sauron. They haven't been seen, as far as you know, in the lifetimes of many men and dwarves. I guess it could be that. Yeah.
Yep.
Are you gonna share that information?
Yeah, I think I talk through like, you know, the difference between the great beast that we fought and how that was possibly just developed by being exposed to the Palantir, but then like all the way down to like just evil people, and then like there's also these other evil things that sure they're worthy of fear, but they're not there's something to be concerned about being in the Shire for sure.
And what they were called, the translation from Elvish would be burnt beast. So I didn't look up the name in Sundar, and I'm sorry. We'll look
You're
at
fine.
it next time. Yeah.
If it's all right, I'm gonna say that we kind of go to my place where you have some privacy and then talk this all over.
Yeah.
And then maybe get some rest. First thing in the morning, I'm gonna head into town,
Well,
reprovision.
I feel like this is something we need to talk over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not certain they're even still around, but that's the only thing I can think of that matches this description at all.
And you say it's possible these things are in the Shire now, or at least have passed through.
Yes, which is why I think we should stay a moment, not just for our restoration.
Agreed. If we see signs of these. And did you make it clear that you wanted to kind of like stop
Yeah.
around? If you see signs of these, Runa, Huntress that you are, I would very much like to go and dispatch them if we must.
I would not feel good about leaving this place with them behind if I see fresh tracks again.
Aye.
Aye.
What a day and age for my nephew to be a sheriff. Well, hopefully, and I kind of put on as much of an optimistic Hobbit air as I can, maybe these things were just passing through, and we shall find that they are making their way out of the Shire, hopefully to some of the wild lands where they won't be of much harm to anyone.
I'd like for all of you to roll either travel or insight, whichever one's better.
Okay.
Oh, they're the same.
Same.
Failure.
Uh-oh.
I got
That went
3
well?
ones.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my
Really glad you
So
used that
not
roll.
you.
Yeah.
On
Nope.
your feet and your success die?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 2. So
Fail.
good
Success
lord.
with a penguin.
Oh, great.
Just a regular success.
Okay. It occurs to both of you that maybe it wasn't the lightning that started the fire. Like,
Do these beasts make fire?
They're ash beasts.
Oh.
so part of the legend is that, like, while they don't like breathe fire, that they actually
They
can.
smolder.
Yeah, they can kind of smolder and
Hmm.
do that themselves.
Well, then I suppose I know what questions to ask. If there have been fire shall tomorrow morning, after we've gotten some rest, I shall go inquire if there have been any extra fires around, and if any of the other sheriffs or anyone else have seen signs of these beasts.
I'll join you. Keep an ear out.
I appreciate that.
Do we think these beasts consume some kind of ancient evil also?
I think they might just be of the ancient evil.
Oh.
That
I
seems
don't have a
how it
lot of
works.
experience with these things.
Most things living haven't, myself included.
How dangerous would these things be to any old person?
The little that I know is that they were a bit of a scourge on other peoples. So, enough to be concerned about.
Especially if the fate of your former sheriff is anything to go by.
Yeah.
Have heart. Master Hobbit.
No. Of course.
We will not leave your people, who have been so hospitable to us, to be in danger.
No, I thank you for that. Let us put our minds to other things, to resting our feet. And I start like gathering chairs up around the hearth, and I get ready to start lighting a fire. And I kept it out for you. And I point out to the hammock out front.
Oh,
And yeah, I get to again I get into like Hobbit hosting mode. Like, you know, you talked about hospitality. I'm gonna show it to you like you've never seen it. So.
I think I specifically don't go out and sit in the hammock because I haven't had a chance to get more candy for the kids.
Oh,
So I'm trying to be like, I'm just another hobbit you don't recognize.
a hobbit.
I got extra sugar and some money. We can make a little
all
pan
right.
of crystallized sugar if you like. Feel free.
Yes.
My
Yes.
kitchen is your kitchen.
Oh, that would be delightful. 'Cause, yeah, that's Hannar's whole evening now.
I don't have the molds like the jewel molds.
No,
but,
no,
you
it's
know,
fine.
Again,
It's
you
totally-
you.
Like
I'll-
I'm just taking sticks from the yard and dipping them in. Like the, you know, when you get those stir sticks. That
Yeah.
have the crystal in
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'll do for
Yeah,
sure.
these
for
are the
sure.
uncut
awesome.
gems.
Right.
Awesome. Very good. Okay.
That's primo
then-
uncut candy.
Yeah, so then tomorrow he can go out and not be scared.
So you spend another night, so that's another point of fatigue.
All right.
Yay.
So yeah, you Yeah.
Specifically, right before bed, I will gather up any empty wineskins that we've made our way through the evening of revelry, just to fill them up with water and like start carrying them around
Mm-hmm.
in case there's fire beasts places.
Okay.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good call. I take like the bathtub.
Yeah.
You know, like in my toilet, and I drag. You know, you hear the sound of a little hobbit dragging this like bathtub out towards the yard. I'm gonna actually pull it out the door, put it in the yard, and I'm gonna start filling that with water
Aww.
just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So,
And we're gonna say like it's a nice wooden bathtub. Like it's
it's another like barrel that's been cut. It's another like brandy cask that has been cut.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just we go crazy with the barrels
okay.
here in the Bungborough. So.
Okay. If you want something a little grander than that, that's okay.
Well, no, it's nice, but it's been like polished,
Okay.
and like
Sure.
like banding's been put around it, like nice banding's been around it. Yeah, we like our baths.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We
very
luxuriate in our baths.
nice. Yes. Very good. All right.
I probably couldn't get it in, but that's hilarious.
Yeah. No, you definitely could not fit in this
Yeah,
bathtub.
It's still a perfectly acceptable foot soak.
Yes.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
Been on the road a long time.
Bathe your lower half at first, for a half hour, and then you
The
bathe your
arms.
upper half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
All right.
Okay, so I get a good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of know what my plan is. What you
Go
all
with you.
want to do?
Uh,
Are you? Yeah.
so we're tarrying for a bit.
Yes.
Okay. So why don't we switch back to
Yeah. Oh, very good.
All right. So the next day, what are your plans?
Well, we're going into town.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sure.
I think unless anybody else wants to come with me, Ranyar and I are gonna go hunting for tracks.
Okay.
I think I'd talk to you first,
Sure.
but specifically, would it be better to let other hobbits know that we saw a big fire on the way into the Shire? Maybe it's the season, there was a thunderstorm. Maybe it'd be a good idea to have some water handy. Like, I don't want to say, well, watch out for fire monsters.
Yeah.
But-
There might be fire dogs.
Yeah.
Don't worry. No.
Well, also.
Or would that panic
Mhm.
the people more?
No, I think as long as we spin it, you know what I mean. It's like as long as we don't. I mean, I am gonna want to ask about those tracks that you saw, and if anybody's seen signs of anything. But I think we can say it's, we saw the fire and are worried that it might be unseasonably dry. Well, actually, it's kind of towards the end of the summer, so.
Yeah. So now's the time.
Now is the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. It might be an extra dry season, and everybody might want to look out.
Okay. Well, I think I'd just start going door to door and doing that then.
Okay.
Just kind of walking around like, hi.
The Dwarven Fire Safety
Yeah.
Convention.
Only you can prevent field fires.
I mean, this is a agrarian society. Fires in the fields are something. A dwarf coming around to tell them about it is not a thing that happens. So they're more baffled by you. And some of them like are very suspicious.
Sure, but like they've seen me around here before.
Yeah, but even like
I know they're uncomfortable with outsiders to some degree, but like I'll just say, hey, you know me. I travel through quite often. Just on my way into the Shire yesterday, we encountered a fairly large grass fire. Wanted to let you know, just keep some water handy, just for safety. I wouldn't want anything to happen. Your area is so beautiful. Every time I come, you are all so welcoming and wonderful.
are you selling
And-
water?
Not at all. You already have the water. I'm just saying, be prepared. And like, I'll pull out some of the candy sticks I made and like hand them to the kids when they come to the door. Wait, that sounded bad.
No, that's fine.
Candy.
No, not that.
I'm not like, come get in my dwarf wagon, kid.
No. I didn't take it that way. They're just doing like suspicious Hobbit face at you. No, it wasn't the candy thing.
No. But I didn't mean it to come out.
I
Like
know.
that.
Yeah. No, I got what you meant.
Yeah.
I knew
And,
what
you know, I'm just trying to be friendly and just pass. And like, the first house that gives me that kind of look, I'll go on to the next house and do the same
Yeah.
thing. And I'm not asking for anything. I'm just kind of.
There's a lot of like, are you selling something? And then after you say no, they're just kind of like baffled, like, oh, okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Just keeping the town safe. That's all.
Yeah.
You're always so welcoming to me. I don't want to see any extra danger come your way.
You start noticing that some kids like are running like ahead of you and like knocking on the next door. Hey, the dwarf's coming. Hey, the dwarf's gonna come talk to you next. Hey. And like there's like some like busybody old ladies who you see like peering out of the windows and like running next door to their neighbor. And like then there's like two peering out the window as you go from door to door.
The gossip.
Yeah.
line.
That's the whole, like, I know I can't visit every Hobbit hole, so this is what I'm counting on.
Yeah. So they are you're very effective in getting the word out that there's a dwarf saying there was a fire.
As long as those kids aren't trying to pull the wool over my eyes. Like, if they're going to the next house and pretending they belong at that house to get another
As
candy.
they like suck on your candy stick.
Yeah.
'Cause if that starts happening, they're going to start getting ones that have less and less sugar on them and just like handing them a twig. Like, there you go.
I'm gonna have you roll scan. Roll scan for me.
How sneaky are the
How
Hobbit
sneaky are the
children?
hobbits, yeah.
Oh,
Is this what you roll well on?
well, I do have 3 dice in
Good.
can, but I got the eye.
Oh! All right, well, the eye does not mean automatic failure. It just counts as a
As a
one.
1, but
Yeah.
that still resulted in failure.
Okay. Yeah, these Hobbit kids are really...
Man.
Yeah, and they all... Yeah, I mean... They're all kind of wearing the same like color palettes, and they're moving very quickly. And there's a lot of them,
Yeah.
There are a lot of
and they like there's just so like little, and they're just like moving quickly. And yeah, you give out a lot of candy.
Yeah, by my midday, I'm probably out of candy,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, all right, word's been spread enough. I'm gonna go home.
No, it's like the opposite of trick or treating that you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And the kids are like, they'll trade shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little aprons are all changed, and they like pull their hair back, and they like send their little sister who wasn't here earlier, get 2.
Yes. And
Yeah.
then one of them's wearing like a carpet from an entry hall.
Yeah.
Like,
Someone's put a dog on their head.
Yeah.
It's getting really out of hand. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, you get the word out. So everyone's kind of on the watch for fires. It is a little early because like summer wouldn't generally be the time that there would be more fires. That would be more fall when things start drying out a bit.
sure.
But it's not completely unheard of for this part of the season. But they do start raising awareness and are a little bit more careful. Yeah. All right.
Great.
And next year they're going to draw dwarves saying only you can prevent field fires.
They're gonna just wait in anticipation. It's
yeah,
gonna
like-
become their version of Halloween.
Like,
Really kidding.
Michael Delving. All the kids are like,
It's the fire
fire
season.
dwarf. It's a fire dwarf.
The candy dwarf is coming for fire season.
The fire dwarf brings you candy.
so just little Hobbit drawings of like a dwarf with a fiery beard.
Like holding
I
great
mean,
gems.
this is how Hobbit myth
that's
begins.
awesome. That's
for sure.
awesome.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
It is canon in our world
Cult
now.
of the fire dwarf. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's great. That's
man.
great. That's really that's
Iconic.
way too
Yeah,
fantastic.
amazing.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Flaming beard. It's very good.
All right. Who wants to follow that?
Plus one.
I think years later Gandalf is all like, "But I'm the fireworks guy."
We're gonna say that years later, actually, because of the legend that is built up around the fire dwarf, that Gandalf actually has fireworks that go off and like pop into the shape of a dwarf with a fiery
Dwarf with a
beard.
beard. Yeah.
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 Exceptional.
Yeah.
Very good.
Whether or not Gandalf knows the origin of
No,
this
not at
tale,
all.
we don't know
Yeah.
yet.
Rock candy becomes like a
Yeah.
habit.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
so great. That's great. That's great.
All right. Yeah.
Shall we head into town?
Sure, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
After
You know,
that,
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, what kind of trouble can we get into? I'm gonna say,
What time are you doing this at the same time that Hannar was passing the word? Have you waited a little while?
no, I think we'll all kind of like disperse around the
Yeah.
same time.
Okay.
You know, yeah. Well, whatever time Hannar goes out, we'll head out to, and you know, I'll turn back to Hannar and Runa and say, why don't we regroup here maybe around midday, shortly after the sun's highest? Have
That sounds
ourselves
good.
a little repast and see we'll share what we found.
Excellent.
and a pie too.
Definitely a pie or two.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, we start walking down just a hobbit and an elf.
Mhm.
You know,
Normal stuff.
normal
Michael
stuff.
Delving, totally
Michael
normal.
Delving, yeah. And I mean, they know you.
Yeah,
here
I've been
already.
here quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'll walk down. First thing I think I'd like to do is see if I can see if any of the other sheriffs are in town, and if they aren't, then I'll just kind of go to the square and I'll say hi to whoever's there and start asking questions.
Mhm.
And I'm just keeping my ear out the whole time looking for like people who are I'm this is gonna sound like the Dans and why, but I'm looking for hobbits that are gossiping, but specifically ones that look like they are out in the field.
Mhm.
That have been actually out either in the forest or the field if they're like a woodcutter or a farmer that actually doesn't
Yeah.
directly live in town, maybe someone that I've seen before. If they're gossiping and it looks like they're gossiping intensely, that's kind of what I'm actually looking for.
Okay, cool.
I mean, there's a lot, and you notice actually as you're going, suddenly there's like this influx of gossiping happening. You don't know what's causing that. So we have the sort of like Hannar going about, only you can prevent field fires. Here's also candy. The fire dwarf gives you blessings. And like there's like this wave of like children and old ladies and like everyone coming like ahead of that, and so you just suddenly see like people like crouched in every like doorways, knocking on windows, hey, da, 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 and like lots of gossiping happening, all of it about fires.
Okay, that's not. I'm mostly just following you then and going,
Sure.
there's something going on about fires. I hope Hannar's all right.
Yeah. It's like I haven't seen the town. This is pretty lively for the town, even for what I've seen. So it's got to be something interesting then. All right. Hopefully that doesn't bode ill. Yeah. Who do I find? Like, are any of the sheriffs in town?
Yes. Now,
Do you want the map again?
no, I just need my notebook that has everybody's names.
Oh,
There we go.
mhm.
A lot of paperwork. It is the obnoxious one.
The
who's-
wall.
The wall. That's right.
My best friend, the wall.
So, let's see. What was his name?
The wall was one of the proud
Yeah, the wall was.
It was wall something.
I should have looked through this before because I.
Wall coming the.
Oh, this is Bree. I'm looking in the wrong place. No wonder.
Wall cometh the sheriff of the Shire.
Exactly what it's gonna say. Here we go, Michael Delving. Wrong page. Let's see. Willimus the
Willimus.
Wall Proudfoot.
Willimus.
Proudfoot, right. Willimus Proudfoot. Well, hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you? What? You're back in town again.
Yeah, just for a little bit. And I'm sorry, but I must forego the pleasantries. But I must ask you some questions.
Oh, all right.
Have any of the other sheriffs seen signs of anything unusual walking the land since I was last here for the memorial?
Well, there's been rumors of more attacks and things, but nothing we could verify as anything more than just normal wolves or something. But these are dark times, I think, my friend.
They are. They are. Well, so Shire folk have been attacked.
They say so. I mean, if it's something to take out a sheriff, then you know it's something big. But to take out normal farm folk, I have much respect for them, but just about anything can do that. So there hasn't been any other evidence of it being something extra, you know?
So, how many?
Well, I haven't been counting all the Shire, but we've had 3 here, rounds about Michael Delving. 2 dead and 1 very injured.
Well, dark times indeed. Well, miss, I need you to pass the word to the other sheriffs, and I need you to pass it quietly. I do not want our people here in the Shire to live for fear of their lives if they don't have to. But please, as you're charged to serve the people of the Shire, us hobbits here, have the sheriffs of each farthing make a count.
Now, Sausage. And Elf Friend. Do what I can, but it'd be good for you to remember that you're no longer the sheriff. We can handle it. If you'd like the job back, I hear your nephew could use a bit of a hand. But other than that, the best you should be given is advice.
Then the advice that I give is that you be vigilant before 3 turns to more.
And take care of my people.
I know you will. I know you will. How's your mum?
She's good. Came in the house ranting about a burning dwarf a few minutes ago. I headed down to the tavern.
I look up the road.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
to
now
see.
looking for Hannar.
Kind of like look at each other and look up the road.
You probably, I mean, probably back a ways you see me like stopping at the next house and handing out some candy and
Oh, it seems like business as usual for Hannar. Right. I'm gonna kind of start walking around with you and like
Yeah.
talking to other folks, like the other, like farmer, again, same thing, farmers and
Yeah.
even like some of the town gossips, like some of the busybodies in town. Just asking questions.
Okay.
Do I learn anything different, or is it pretty much?
There's
I
a-
do, and I do specifically ask actually about fires. Like, have there been a spate of fires around the area?
They have been more than usual for this time of year. Not enough to like raise alarm or to start people assuming arson, but things are still pretty green around here, and so it is a little odd that there have been as many fires as there have been, and sometimes they're in like weird places where you wouldn't necessarily expect it.
Oh,
But again, not quite enough to cause alarm. Like
Yeah.
enough to cause people to be like, huh, bad luck this year, but not enough to like cause investigations or suspicion.
how long would it take for me to actually? I'm gonna start asking if there's somebody who knows about like how these fires have been popping up. Like, okay, this one farm reported it one day, or this one, gossip about this fire another day, and I'm just gonna that's gonna be my next line of questioning. Like,
Okay.
if there's sort of a path that these fires are taking.
And I think I'm actually going to let you to that on your own.
Sure.
Partly because I think every time we go somewhere, someone kind of
Yeah.
looks at me and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm A, awkward, and B, I don't go here.
Yeah.
So I think as you're, we're beginning to kind of like fork ways, I'm actually going to go see the carpenter. I have an idea.
Oh, please do. Please do.
I'm going to go find the carpenter.
Okay.
And as I do, I'd like to look to see if they have any like very obvious of what the state of standing water is in public spaces.
Okay. We're gonna say this times out with about when Hannar's done handing out the candy. So as you're walking around, there's all these kids just like laying, like holding their stomachs. Just about like in the shade, like they look very content. Some of them are like, oh, I don't feel good. I'm just like,
all these good
just
Hobbit children.
yeah, these like very like sugared up Hobbit children. Some of them are just like running around like the fountain in the middle of the well, like just running around in circles.
I think I go to wave to one of them, and it like gives me a high five, and then does it again.
Yeah, like
round and around.
just like wow, you're not used to kids, but that's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot. So and yeah, you go and we're gonna cut back to you for just a second. So as you're walking, so you get it's a little bit like there's no real pattern. It's not like as these wolves go around the Shire, there's
Yeah.
like in a ring. There's a lot of like, oh, we think it was lightning. We think it was this. So a lot of, we're not sure. Maybe someone along the road dropped a lantern, things like that. So there's not a lot of evidence, unfortunately.
Okay.
But that in of itself is sort of weird and suspicious. Because like if someone dropped a lantern, like you should find something left or just, there's just,
Yeah.
it's just a little weird.
Yeah. Like a lightning mark kind of, sears the ground in a particular way. so-
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that's what you find out.
I would like to find
Oh, standing water.
Yeah.
Sorry.
the standing water, the state of standing water in the general public areas in Michael Delving.
Okay. I mean, there is a lot of water. This is, a nice, lush area. Even on the map, it's green. But like there's wells there's, they're not fountains, but
Yeah.
like public water spouts that are constantly flowing. Kind of like what you'd see, like you think like old, like Italy or things like that, old world, like public water spaces. The very nice homes have like some sort of running water themselves, or pump, like the spigots of like their own at their house. So things like that. There's nothing quite as there's not indoor plumbing, but you can just about everybody who has a very nice house has something that their servants can pump to get water in right outside, so they don't have to send their servants all the way down to the courtyard.
Okay.
So, but yeah, the water it's not a time of drought or anything like that.
Okay. The goal here is to find the carpenter and convince them to put barrels of water on wheels.
Oh, okay. That is a newfangled wild idea. All
Yes.
right. I'm going to have you I'm gonna have you roll persuade.
Those social skills.
Mhm.
Ah, right. Yes, I am social boy. I do social thing. Oh yeah, I very much so succeed.
Okay. So what's kind of your angle with like getting them to do this? How do you convince them?
I think I tell them the story of the fire that we encountered on the way into town because we had all discussed like that's where we're gonna start by not freaking them all out. And then I also say, well, you know, there's been a rash of fires in the area, and it would serve you better to have water on hand, say in a barrel, of which there's plenty in this town. I'm very aware. I've drained quite a few myself. But if you put them on wheels, they will get where they need to go faster instead of just rolling them, which takes a while.
Yes. Yes, I can see that might be a very good way to go about it.
And perhaps they're tall so that you can just create a spigot and spray the area down.
It's tall for you or tall for me?
Tall for you.
Oh, yes. Yes, that would be much more doable.
Yes.
I think, yes.
Like a cart. But
Might
a
be-
barrel.
Yes. For, like, beer and wine. With the spigot on the side so that we
Yes.
can pour out the beer and wine very quickly.
Yes, but also for water. For the fire.
Oh, right. Water and fire.
But
the
the
fire.
other one is also you could have a
Right.
festival on wheels in the future.
Maybe we can have one type of spigot on one side and the other type of spigot on the other. So when we weren't using it for fire time, we could use it then for the beer.
You could, or you could never water down your beer and have two.
Oh, yes. Yes, I see. That might be better to have a specific one for the beer because we wouldn't ever want to have, water in there when we were trying to fill it with beer. That would just be bad for the beer. All right, then, yes. I think that's it. I think that could be done. That is a very interesting idea.
It's an astute idea you have there yourself.
Oh, for the beer, yes. Thank you. I am quite a fan of a good drink. But have you seen one of these contraptions in another place?
No, but I have an inkling that you might need use of faster fire removal.
All right. That's. Thank you.
It's nothing to worry about. Fires can spread at any time.
Right. Yes. Well, I can see you being from. You're from
I'm
the
from-
Grey Havens, right?
Yes.
I can see by someone living by that much water must be very afeared of being so far away from it. So I could see why you'd be very, very into having water with you.
I'm grateful that you understand, Master Hobbit.
Now salt water is not a good idea. You know that.
Correct.
Yes. All right. I know that's probably what you're most comfortable. Do elves drink the salt water?
Not on purpose.
Oh, that's good. Hobbit's the same. All right. Well then, I will get to carving such a thing.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Of course. Best of luck.
Thank you, Gramercy. Sorry, everyone's a little Irish because it was just St. Patrick's Day. And it's
You're doing great.
sliding into everything tonight. Okay. Yeah. And his name is Marvinus Grain Carver.
I love him.
He is the carpenter of Michael Dubbing.
I 100% believe that Aerlind has now invented one of those pedal-along bars.
Yes. Not his intention,
Yeah.
and yet somehow here we are. He's
That's
like,
true.
of course hobbits would think of this, actually.
Somehow it gets tied to the Fire Dwarf Festival.
Yeah, we're all coming together.
We're creating a whole new festival.
The fire festival, yes.
Yeah.
No, not that one.
The richest hobbits from all across the Shire travel to it.
And then they find out it's just the
It's-
same beer they had at
Yep.
home.
They all roll the eye of Sauron. And then,
Bad tents and horrible sandwiches.
all right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Can't
Runa,
be
you've been-
somebody's field.
Runa, you've been so patient.
Oh, no worries. This is amazing. Hilarious.
The one
yeah.
of us that's actually accomplishing the dangerous part of the mission.
Fingers crossed.
With Ranyar.
With Ranyar. Yes. So when we set out for the day, I'm going to take Ranyar and do kind of like a loop around the town. Not super close, but not like super far out either.
Okay.
Kind of like a safe distance. I don't want to find these things by myself.
Yeah.
Generally, but I do want to make sure that they haven't been coming close to the town.
Okay. I'm going to give you an extra die on your rolls to kind of weigh in Ranyar's help.
Awesome.
So I'm going to have you roll hunting.
Okay. Does anyone mind if I use a fellowship point
Please.
for this?
Go ahead.
I think we are
please.
sending all of our hope with you
Yeah,
that you
please
accomplish
do.
this.
Okay.
And you can do more than one if you want, I think.
Oh.
Well, we'll say,
You probably just need the one. You're
Well, with Ranyar,
let me double check.
and the fellowship point, I have 4 dice.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
That's your friend. I mean, maybe not. I
mean,
don't know. I shouldn't say that.
until it
Don't say
all
that
goes
too
wrong.
loud.
So I'll find total
We'll give it a try.
I have failed a stealth roll, and I
ones and an
re-rolled.
eye.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, it's okay. I think
Okay.
I still made it.
You made that
Oh,
face.
and I got a 6.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got 2 1s, but that's why I had 4
But
dice.
still a success.
Still a success, and with a Tangwar.
Okay,
Thank
perfect.
goodness.
Very good. So as you are going about, Ranyar's acting funny, but not like there's danger right here, but like if and you'll know how this looks, like the dog is like very like nonplussed, like does not like something, like not danger, like ready to protect, ready to fight, but just like, ew, gross. I don't like this.
Fenris makes that face a lot.
Yeah, I've seen him make this face, and it's just like, don't like it. Ew, like doggy face, like very, and just like, and like growls a little bit sometimes. You don't find any other like tracks, but you do get the impression, and you do notice that there are signs of like in some of the brush, like it being broken where something has come through here.
Okay.
So they've been around. They are very clearly not going really close to Michael Delving.
Mm-hmm.
They probably very rarely kind of dip in as close as you are. And you cannot tell whether it's one or more than one.
Okay.
But you get absolute confirmation that between Ranyar's behavior and your tracking skills,
Mm-hmm.
that yes, that at least one of these things has been nearby.
Is it kind of all around the circuit, or is it in like a particular area?
We have me the map again. So Michael Delving's here. It looks like it's mostly like there's these little hills here. It looks like it's mostly along the little hills.
Oh, okay.
So it's like to
So
one
kinda to the
side.
west,
Yeah,
yeah.
to the west of Michael Delving, a little bit to the north and south. But it seems like they're mostly in those hills. Probably very logically, you as a tracker would know, hey, it's easier for them to hide there.
Yeah.
They probably don't stay there all the time, but it also gives them a nice little perimeter to walk if they're heading to other parts of the Shire.
Yeah, and a high vantage point.
Yeah.
That makes sense because that is where we saw them on our way in, and that's the direction we were coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. Not ideal. I think what I'm gonna do is probably head back to Sausage's place.
Mhm.
And if I'm early, if nobody's there yet, I'll start setting about making some traps.
You do notice that I'm going to give you, because I forgot you had the Taiwan as well.
Mhm.
Your observations when you're fighting the giant evil anglerfish,
Mhm.
the Doom, was that it had like extra intelligence. Like it had become, while it was still a creature, it had more awareness than you would expect of a creature of that type.
Got it.
So it wasn't like thinking and reading, but like definitely more aware. You, and especially going with Ranyar, you get the sense that, okay, these things might be these things are still acting very much like wolves.
Okay.
So they don't seem to have, they seem to be wandering. There doesn't seem to be like a set pattern to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know whether they may have specific orders or training, or maybe they have just been let loose here. But you're not seeing anything that's like extra nefarious. This seems like
Okay. Doesn't seem calculating their
exactly.
movements. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like these are very capable predators, but in a way that is still completely like animal.
Okay. Great. That is helpful.
Yeah. So that'll be your extra for the terroir.
Yay, thank you. Oh, and by the way, just as a funny side note, the face that Fenris makes that's like that, he makes it at objects that move that shouldn't. The first time I ever saw him do it was a rocking chair, and it moved on its own because somebody bumped it, and he looked at it like, "How dare you?"
Yeah, that's exactly it. The how dare you, like, how dare these things be here? No. Like,
Followed up by "Absolutely not," and then just leaves the room.
yeah.
Have to go.
He's done that when I've dogs at him sometimes. Like, what is that? Oh.
Seeing a
Like-
dog be offended.
Yeah, be offended by just anything there. Do you know who I am? So that's kind of what you get. So,
Yeah.
Okay. And as you're heading back into town, you also notice like very active Hobbit children and like lying, napping. I feel by the time you've gotten back, like they're all burned out. Like they've gotten past the sugar rush and are just, there's sleeping Hobbit children like all over. They're not in the streets, but like anywhere that has a little tuft of grass, or like there's like some little benches where like 3 of them are curled up, like leaning on each other. And there's,
Hobbit siesta time.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's it's very calm suddenly.
Huh. So quiet.
Yeah, very, very quiet. How are there so many Hobbit children? There's so many of them.
I feel like they normally probably like follow Runa and especially Ranyar
Yeah.
around, like if he's here. So the fact that they're just like all sleeping off a sugar high is really funny to
Yeah.
her.
Seems very odd. All right, very good. Let's come back together at
We're all gathered
Sausage's
back up.
house. Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to share what I learned. You know, so there have been more fires than usual, which is not comforting. But they haven't been in any kind of pattern or movement or anything like that. At least none that I've been able to tell with anyone I've asked. And then I mentioned too that, you know, I got to talk to one of the sheriffs, and they did mention some hobbits having been attacked here. 3 here in West Farthing. And I have passed on the message for them to be more vigilant and to perhaps go out of their way to take account of whether anything like this has been happening elsewhere.
That is very sound advice. Were these hobbits, did any survive the attacks?
I believe it was 2 dead and 1 gravely injured.
If they are up for it, perhaps we should speak with them. Find out what happened.
Perhaps.
I did not see any tracks close to the town, which is good. But there were signs that something has been coming into the brush closer than I would like. It seems they're keeping to the west where we came in, using the hills for cover.
Well, I know we have this stone we have to deal with. I do not want to endanger anybody else's lives by lollygagging on that.
But I think we can spare a few days to deal with this. Sausage, take heart. From the activity I saw, these act like beasts. They behave like wolves. Not like what we fought innuminous.
Hmm.
It is not calculating and intelligent. They are not stalking your people.
Oh, good. Oh, that's good. Good to hear.
Well,
Clarifying, they're but
There's-
not like, yeah.
yeah.
Predatory
Predatory
standard
behavior.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not, we have created
Yeah.
a duck blind to hunt hobbits.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is this I hear about a flaming dwarf?
I'm assuming that it may have something to do with the fact that I warned many of the neighbors here of the increased fire danger, as we discussed. So in my manner, I gave out some candy sticks to the children, and it may have been connected to the idea that I am some sort of fire safety dwarf that has come to pass out candy and warn them of fire.
But the term safety was dropped from it when it was
Yeah,
brought to me, and you just became the fire dwarf.
Apparently, I cannot explain how these things happen.
It's a Hobbit thing. It's sort of how we just relay our messages. It kind of happens if you let it. And we often do.
Well,
But in any case, Hannar, thank you very much for putting the warning out.
Well, in the future, perhaps I will have to have a change of clothes here to better represent being the fire dwarf.
or in case someone tries to put you out.
Oh,
I think that's a good kind of, unless someone has something else they want to say, I think that's a cute kind of button for the evening.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something?
Well, you know what? Actually, like if like once we're kind of done with that, I'm going to go into my closet. I'm going to get kind of a nice outfit, and I'm going to seek out Petunia with the trinket, with the necklace. And I'm going to say this necklace. Look at it. Could it have like one of the white towers on it?
Oh, sure,
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Get that one over. Yeah. And I'll kind of go into town and see if I can find her, and wherever she is, I'll just deliver it real quickly.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, Petunia.
It's so nice to see you. And I mean, I can't lie. I definitely knew you were in town. Everybody knows you're in town. But it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
Oh, well, I couldn't pass through Michael Delving without seeing you. My fellowship and I are not here for very long, but I did bring you a little something from the sea.
From the sea?
And yeah, I just kind of like let the thing drop from my hands, and I spread the chain apart.
Mhm.
May I?
Yes, please. She kind of blushes a little.
And do the thing where she turns around and I wrap it around her neck and clasp it.
Oh, thank you. It's beautiful. You went all the way to the sea?
It was incredible. Seeing that much water, smelling salt in the air. I didn't know the water was salty.
The water's salty,
The water is salty. You can't drink it.
but there's so much of it.
I know. It's kind of a waste, isn't it?
It seems very odd, yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's strange, sort of, the way the world puts itself together sometimes, eh?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, and wait, I bought a little something for you, and I pull out, like, one of the elven treats
Uh-huh.
that, and I pass it on.
Jesus, this is amazing.
Oh, well,
It is very salty. Not like in a bad way. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
amazing. I wonder if they put salt in everything.
Wouldn't be surprised if they did. Petunia.
Yes.
I shall be leaving for quite some time after I leave.
Again,
Again,
Burl.
important matters.
of course.
And I just wanted to see your face, for I do not know when I shall be returning again.
Where are you going? Do you have to go?
I do. There are there are dark tidings, and I do not wish to scare you, but that's why I must leave, because the tidings shall likely follow where I walk, at least for a little bit. And I do not wish to bring it to the Shire. And I will kind of reach out a hand and put my hand on hers. And I will say, I do not wish to bring it especially to the people that I care about.
Burl, you're a good man. There can't be that dyers following you. I mean, you're amazing, but you're just a hobbit of the Shire. What could possibly be after you?
Petunia? Oh. To be honest, I wish I knew the scope of everything. I do not. But trust that as soon as I can return, I shall.
All right.
And I should like to spend more time with you when I do. Though it may be some moons.
I would like that too. I will miss you and I will think of you, Burl.
I shall think of you as well. And the thought of coming back to you shall put a little bit of spring in my step.
Well, it sounds like you'll be doing a lot of walking, so I suppose that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, you know, I got cheese with me.
That's true. Take care of Cheese.
Of course, of course.
Burl, you will be all right, won't you?
My hand wraps a little tighter around hers. And I say, I shall try. I shall try with every ounce of me to be okay. And I will do my very best to come back. For these eyes cannot go long without seeing my friend, my wonderful, wonderful Petunia.
Thank you. Wait, one moment.
Mm.
And she like rushes off into like one of the back rooms and she comes out with like a very nice like lacy handkerchief, like folded. And in between, and I want you to have this and I want you to keep it close.
Oh.
And make sure you come back safely. And she'll like hand it to you and like use it as an excuse to quickly kiss you on the cheek.
Oh.
And then
I take it, and I certainly do want to come back. Now I want to make it back alive.
Okay.
I will take the handkerchief.
Okay.
I will. I'll if it's okay with her, I will squeeze her tightly, and I will kiss her on the cheek as well. And then I will, before I walk out, put the handkerchief in my pocket.
You feel like just as you step outside, you feel that there's something like
Oh,
in the handkerchief.
Yeah. What is it?
It's a wildflower that's been pressed flat.
Oh.
So, and it's one of the like it's this very distinct like it has like lavender petals
Yeah.
and like a dark brown like center. It kind of looks like they're called brown-eyed Susans.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
black-eyed Susans.
black-eyed, yeah, and the except the petals are like a lavender color.
Instead of,
And it's something that's very known, like Michael Delving, like every spring, like they pop around. So she would have had to have picked this a while ago and like flatten it and press it, like a few months ago.
Oh.
So it does have a little P is like engraved or not engraved. It's embroidered on the handkerchief.
You know what? I'll take it. I put it in my pocket, and then as I kind of like walk through the threshold, I stop, and then I turn around and I linger at her with a look. And if it's okay with you, I will actually like rush over to her, embrace her, and like plant a vigorous kiss on her lips.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we get the very sweet but also passionate, Hobbit kiss goodbye, and there's like a little tear running down her cheek as you turn away, and you kind of do the thing where it's like the lingering, grasp of hands as you kind of pull away, and then the little wave, and then she watches you walk down the street until she closes the door, and then you get the feeling she's probably still watching you from a window somewhere.
Yeah. I think after that, I'm gonna need to like my mind is racing at that point, and my heart is beating in my chest, and so I'm going to just find a quiet spot somewhere and sit and just let the breeze kind of like blow through and
Okay.
take a deep breath before I go back home.
As you sit there, you kind of smell like the flowers, like the same flower that she picked for you. Like the scent of that flower is pretty, pretty notable. Especially if you are from this area, you know what that flower smells like. So you can kind of, in the night breeze, kind of smell like the blooming ones that must be nearby.
Okay.
So, all right. That's lovely. I love that. All right. Sleeping for the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more
Yeah.
fatigue point. All right.
Yay.
Get rid of that fatigue.
Okay.
Ah.
Back to the dwarves are natural sprinters.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to go cross country.
Yeah, so I guess do we wanna linger for another day and try to find these things, try to track these things, or
Yeah.
I feel like this is a discussion we should have in character.
Yes.
yeah.
So over a very happy Hobbit breakfast, the first
Yeah.
breakfast.
Yeah.
So, well, it sounds like these things are not necessarily as dark as that creature that we slew out in Anuminas.
Thank heavens.
Yeah, indeed.
Still nothing to take lightly, though.
It wounds my heart to know that any hobbits of the Shire were harmed by this. I leave it to you, but I would stay.
That brings us, sort of a passing smile to my face, like a smile of comfort, to my face. Well, I certainly. I am grateful for all of you. And I am grateful to call you my friends, and I'm grateful to have you here in my home. Shall we head to the hills west, see if we can find these things?
I think so. I spent some time yesterday making some traps. I think we can lay them to give us an advantage.
Ah.
And I think she would know like what time of day wolves. These guys aren't regular wolves, but still they're related. Would be like the least active. And I think we'll set out at that time to set some traps in like likely areas where I feel like they would travel.
You would guess, probably, especially being like dark beasts. Like midday is the thing they hate.
That's what I was
thinking.
thinking.
Like they're definitely probably nocturnal, but also beings of the dark tend not to like bright, sunny Shire days. And that's what it's been today.
Yeah.
It is like almost hot. Like it's like not quite oppressive, but it's a summer day, like very summery. Yeah. And so like later in the morning, probably right after second breakfast, probably a good time to set out.
Before we go, though, Sausage, do you have a loose floorboard or somewhere else that we might leave our important package and not bring it closer to the evil creatures of the world?
I'm tempted to carry it myself then, if you would leave it.
You think it's that risky? Here?
I'm unsettled by the idea of it leaving our sight.
Yeah, that's fair.
I admittedly am as well. Unless one of us were to stay behind and guard it.
Well, no, I wouldn't want to do that. My fear was we saw what this did to another creature that didn't even start out with the evil bent. I worry about it falling into the wrong paws, as it were.
I would wager that within the Pearl it's a better cudgel than it is a tool for them.
Fair enough.
I trust you. If you want to take the pearl, or if you want to take it, then yes, please do. If we do decide we need to, or want to hide it. I walk over to the hearth. I kind of like tap a brick, and a little panel kind of just goes boonk on the side of the wall. And then I look in there. Oh, I didn't know that was in there. I pull like this like old bottle of like fine liquor. Like,
Nice.
somebody had the foresight to do that. And then I kind of close the package back up.
Nice.
Amazing.
Hannar, how do you feel about someone else carrying the Palantir?
Well, no, like Hannar's clearly opting to be like, oh, well, if we shouldn't leave it behind.
I'll carry it. Okay. All right. Will the three of you roll awareness?
Awareness.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is fine.
It's fine.
No, not gonna
Dice,
do it.
what's up, buddies?
Not gonna do it.
Gandalf rune.
Oh, okay.
So close.
You do notice like that sudden shift in Hannar.
Mhm.
Like there's just a little bit of like, okay, I'll keep carrying it. That just seems a little off and a little greedy.
Ooh.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, because that you said that was one of the things you were kind of feeling about it, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
Like, yes.
Okay.
Specifically because he saw such sights in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's nefarious, but there's definitely
Yeah.
yeah. But
It-
go ahead.
Specifically, it's not the mechanical problem from Shadow.
No.
No.
But yeah,
Yes. But Aerlind does have the mechanical problem from Shadow.
Yes.
So
fair. That's
you
100%
notice like, oh no, I want to keep it safe. Whether you let the shadow kind of inform that, I'm going to let you make that decision. But it's definitely something you notice, and it.
For good or ill, Aerlind tucks that away for later.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. And what are you feeling about? Like,
I failed, so I did not notice that.
Yeah.
no, but are you feeling like how is the shadow? Because you still have it.
Yeah.
And it's sort of informing everything you do. You're doing a good job of kind of like shrugging it off because it's like happy summer Shire day. But you also like keep getting reminded of the thing.
Yeah. She's definitely glad it's coming with them
Okay.
because she wants to keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit of like, well, when we get to Bree, maybe we can just leave it there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's cool.
Like
Just
it stays
wanted
with
to
us
check in.
until then.
And we are at like 8 minutes till. So we're going to go ahead and open up next time with your like foray into the hills.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hunting time.
Hunting time.
Everybody's
Random
real
hunt.
good at that.
Ooh.
And I just have to say, like I was saying it in chat, but I have to say it out loud. I am constantly surprised. I really thought I would hate the journey mechanics in this game. And it's like my favorite part now. And I love how I was like, oh, it'll take us like 45 minutes of playing and we'll get to Rivendell. And now we're like on this
Yeah.
entirely separate side adventure that like magically tied in with like what you did earlier. It's just, I love it so much. So awesome. All right. So I think that's everything. Yeah. So make sure you keep track of your fatigue because we still have a little bit left over.
Oh, yeah.
And that may come into play if you just happen to get into combat next time. And we will keep endurance and fatigue straight in the future until I forget next time, and I'll be like, oh wait. All right, very good. Then we also may want to consider, depending on how if the combat with the wolves go, the burning beasts goes, if we do combat with them. Maybe you'll talk to them. Who knows? I've stopped trying to predict what all of you will do. Like we may want to plan on maybe having a fellowship phase between now and Rivendell.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
But we'll
Sure.
see.
Yeah.
So all right. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate you listening or watching or however you are consuming our wild story here. I'd like to thank our chat mods for their super hard work. We love all the work you do, keeping everyone safe and keeping conversation flowing. Thank you to our amazing Patreons who keep us ad-free and independent. It's because of you that we are able to play games we enjoy without worrying about publishing companies, ad revenue, subscribers, any of that stuff. All the money that our patrons give us goes to improving your experience by upgrading our studio, filling our mini fridge. Since we are a not-for-profit thing, all of us are playing here because we love it. So thank you for supporting that. And you can join their heroic ranks at happyjacks.org/Patreon. Let's go ahead and we'll start on this side of the table this time.
Ah, that's me.
Yeah.
Hello.
Water yet.
Water has to wait.
Yeah.
I'm Sam. You can find me on the internets at Red Pandroid on most of the socials. And I have been Runa of Bree. Do check out my socials actually because I will have some new art products coming soon. I'm making a very dumb spring collection for my shop. It's titled Spring Nightmares. So I'll start posting
Perfect.
images soon.
Okay.
But if you want to go and check out my current offerings of artwork on clothing, you can check it out at stiarnastore.com. And otherwise, catch me here on Mondays with shenanigans.
No shenanigans.
No. Very serious. Very dire. No laughing.
Serious face.
No fire dwarves. Hi everybody, I've been Kai or Aerlind of Mithlond. You can find me on all social media platforms as Estelle of Imladris. Yesterday we just dropped the 5th episode of my fairy tale podcast that I am a player in and help produce with my podcast group called The Lore Brewery. It is the 5th episode where we go gander on Mother Goose, and it goes away. That's what I'll say about that. And then a week from tomorrow, I'm so excited. The web series that I was the costume designer for called The Party. If you haven't checked it out yet, our trailer is online. You can find it at Party Web Series on all social media platforms. And I mean all of them. And it is about a group of friends that play Dungeons and Dragons. And it is going to be such a wild time. And I had such a good time working on it. So please go check that out too. And otherwise, you'll find me here on Monday. Possibly hunting wolves, which is definitely something that Aerlind is made for.
Yeah. Burn beasts,
Burn
not
beasts.
wolves.
Burn beast.
Either. Hunting.
Yeah.
End of sentence.
Even worse.
I mean, yeah, you keep saying burn bees, and that's just bad.
Like,
It's extra bad.
that's supposed to be like,
Like,
you know.
if it was wolves,
Is that
we're like,
an
okay,
improvement?
we understand.
Wolves are fine.
These
I
are
know.
wolves on fire and angry about it.
I like wolves and I like fire. What could be wrong with this?
You get to deal with both of them at the same time.
Friendship.
Next is going to be a t-shirt on Serena.com.
You're not wrong.
All right. Yeah. Well, hi everybody. I'm Jay, and I played the hard-eyed Hobbit sausage. Did not see that coming today. So I'm yeah. We'll see how that goes. Because love stories don't always, pan out or end well. Anyway. So yeah, I'm check out my work on the DMs Guild. I recently released a new D&D adventure called Monkey King. You can find that on the DMs Guild. Just search for J Africa there. I also have a couple of offerings on itch that are pretty new. The first one is my Fishblade game, High Tider, and then the second one is my 9 Lives to Valhalla adventure, On Death's Errand. Yeah, check them out. And yeah, find me here every Monday, buzzing like at the end of every session because my head is full of all sorts of crazy things that just want to burst out.
Yeah, so amazing.
Yeah.
Now, are you writing an adventure for your Fishblade game that has to do with a giant anglerfish? with
you
the
know
weird-
what?
You need to do that.
I'm actually writing another 9 Lives adventure. And it's sort of Fishblade tangential, and so it's going to have anglerfishy thingies.
Excellent.
Yes.
Very good.
Man, that's the cat's nemesis because it's got the.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
It's a glowy light
Yeah.
and a fish. Too much. Sorry. While Dave's laughing, that's 9 Lives to Valhalla by Gemroom Games. Friends of the pod / stream. We do both. Okay.
Friends of friends.
Friends of both. Yeah, friends. Real friends. They're just our friends.
Period friends.
We have friends.
No, really. Kimmy, lock the door. We can't let them go. All right. I am Kadave. You see me here doing this and having so much fun being an elf-obsessed dwarf. But
Twist.
what an unusual series of events that led us here.
Combination of words.
But I keep telling you all that I'm going to stream a video game, and I never do because things keep coming
Life.
up. And then there was the whole Diablo 4 thing that happened this weekend,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's good. Have a good time
Yeah.
with that, and awesome.
You're streaming that?
Well, not now.
Okay. Well, no,
because
right
it's
now.
only available. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's only last weekend and next weekend.
Oh, okay.
So maybe I will. We'll see. But anyway, maybe someday I'll do that again. But I am also excited because I have become re-inspired for a new game that I'll run here at some point.
Oh.
But probably not until like May.
Yeah.
Because it's a busy time of year.
Also, we're probably going to see a little bit more of Dave because we've started. There's a tiki bar nearby that has a challenge that if you drink, like, there's like 75 different drinks on a list, where if you drink them all in a calendar year, you get a special nameplate on the wall.
You get 18 months.
18 months.
Oh,
Okay.
that's amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's not
that is
bad.
good.
We've
That's
started this, so now Dave has to be over here a lot more.
Totally attainable.
So, yeah, I feel like we should like get everyone at Happy Jack's, just have like Happy Jack section of the wall.
That would be
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, I'm down.
I kind of already gave up this because some of the drinks were not my cup of tea. I was like,
that's fair.
And you don't get to pick. Yeah, it's just.
yeah, you have to do, and you don't get to pick it what order either. It's just like
Oh,
here's,
that's
my,
rough.
here's my list, and then the bartenders make whichever one is not checked off that they want.
All right.
But you can ask them to have mercy. Like, if you go in and you're like, I'm really not feeling like having a massively alcoholic drink right now, can you do something on the lighter end? And they'll
There you go.
usually
Yeah,
try
yeah.
and
They don't want to
accommodate
like hurt you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, I hope.
Depends on the bartender.
Is it 18 months from the first drink you have?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's doable.
That
It's
seems
very
doable.
doable. It's very
It's
doable.
attainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you. It's basically if you do one a week.
Yeah.
Right. There
That's
you
what
go.
it's kind of set up to be.
And no one ever does anything once a week,
No.
right? No.
Right.
We did 3 our first night.
Oh my god.
On
I mean-
brand.
Yeah, it's on brand. Exactly. I'm like, I feel like the Happy Jack challenge has to be like 9 months.
Like, this is too much time. Let's
Yeah, too
get
much
out of the
time.
way.
Yeah, don't,
Amateurs.
don't listen to us. Okay. We are Ren Fair trained. I'm sorry. All right, I'm Kimi, and I am, we're still talking. And more people have actually joined watching Tiki Bars. Okay, so my name is Kimi. I've been your Loremaster. I use she, her pronouns. You can find the games that I write at goldenlassogames.com. Decima, which Samantha did all the art for, is stunning, and it's available now in actual physical decks, as well as a digital version that doesn't have all the pretty art, but just some of the pretty art. And I'm also beta testing a game called Starscape, which is a PBTA hack about found family in space and the drama of living in a tiny tin can with the void outside of it. And you can beta test that. It's pay what you will right now. So if you pay $2 for it right now and download it, eventually when the final version comes out, you'll get to download it for free because you will have already paid what you will for it. So that's a really good deal. So you should go do that right now. And yeah, you can find me at Golden Lasso Girl on most social media. I don't want to say all anymore because there's a lot right now. There's a like Twitter's like spiraling and like other people. It's wild, but it's like Spoutable and Hive and like I'm on a lot of them. And then at Happy Jack's RPG at just about anywhere. So I'm behind all of that. So thank you all so much. Please join us next week. We will be back next week. We're not skipping another week. And yeah, thank you all so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Dave's still typing.
Yeah, yeah.
Doing something very important
Very important.
I'm trying to make sure I get.
in the meantime.
Thank you, Dave.
I'm trying to make sure I get
Yeah.
Sam's website right.
Ah.
Ha, 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 ha.
There you go.
Bye.
Enjoy that chat. We'll see you later.
Everybody, or bye, everybody.